Okay, let's see if that's better. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna diagnose it live, boys. You're diagnosing it. Oh, why are you acting so dumb? All right.
To a point. To a point here, you're not going to be chain smoking
What's up,
around
Brianna?
me, tough guy, okay?
The hell does that have to do with tough guy nothing? I don't get it. Okay, tough girl.
He's willing to sort of flip his position and kind of present himself as a feminist right there.
How? What are you talking about, lady?
They must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case.
Wait, what? She wants them to lie? Data brokers make billions selling your information to spammers, scammers, and anyone willing to pay.
You know, Andrew.
You technically agreed to it, but it was buried in the terms and
You know,
conditions.
Andrew.
Nobody reads. 30% off any plan. We have a very, very upset woman here who's about to be very upset with yours truly and tell you a whole big pack of lies, which I can't wait to show you. Always good. Here we go. Assuming this actually works this time. All right.
First, it has come to my attention that an individual who I had literally never.
I'm not sad. Trying to. All my stuff is not working. I don't know. But none of my stuff is working. It's all being asshole. Yeah, all of it's broken. I don't know. Don't stream in a couple days, and then all of a sudden you come back and everything's broken. Everything is broken. Back. Both these people are idiots. That's kind of rough. I don't know why you would say that. I mean, yeah, you can have your own opinion about it, I guess. But yeah, I'll let you have your opinion. I'm not gonna knock you for your
Never heard of in my life.
She had never heard of me in her life. I want you to hear.
Okay, first of all, she has never heard of him in her life, but yet she retweeted some stuff that he did. She even made the statement that you've been asking for this debate since May. So, how would you know I've been asking for this debate since May if you've never heard of me in your life? So you're lying. Whatever.
That again. I don't know. How do you start a Cope stream off? By lying immediately. That's the question. Says, never heard of this individual in my entire life.
First, it has come to my attention that an individual who I had literally never heard of in my life went onto Joe Rogan signaling that I am scared to debate him regarding the Charlie Kirk case and that he's...
Yep. Now, see, remember, she said that she's never heard of me in her entire life, right? That wouldn't be a fib, would it? She wouldn't be putting us on, would she?
And this is the GOAT?
Well, yeah, she would.
Guess you could call her a goat.
This is from Nick Mateo. Candice Owens just shared 2 comments from her YouTube. They're both from Andrew Wilson on alt accounts to troll her, and Candice reposted them. Oh boy, and wouldn't she know it? Candice Owens says, "No, you're just dumb and fell for him trolling the comments."
Well, how would you know it was him trolling the comments if you didn't? You've never heard of this person in your life.
You guys are so gullible. Blah, 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 blah. Oops.
Candice and Tucker for president. Oh, Lord.
Oops.
Let me go ahead and point out that I would never.
Now, you might want to take a notation here of the timestamp. This is trivial, of course, but I just think it's really funny. This was on July 30th.
Yeah,
I went down and did the Joe Rogan broadcast on the 4th, and I believe it was aired on the 5th. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Never heard of me. I don't know why you're tweeting about me then if you never heard about me. Very strange behavior from Mrs. Owens. But that's okay. I'm sure that they'll just say, no, that's not a lie because, it's only people who are oppositional to her for some reason. They're the liars, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we'll keep on going with the cornucopia of Cope.
And that's crazy.
Offered me $300K to do so. So just, the backstory leading up to this moment is that the host of the Whatever podcast.
Okay, so only one of these people here has ever said, that Tyler Robinson has never stepped foot on UT campus, on Utah University, or whatever the hell campus it is. Only one of these people said he's never stepped foot on it. Only one of these people said Tyler Robinson never even owned a gun. He doesn't own a gun. He had no access to it. Only one of these people said that. Only one of them. Only one. I'm just... I already lied twice. Multiple times if you want to get technical about it.
Who I do know, a guy named Brian Atlas, reached out to my PR guy, Mitchell, with an offer of $50K for me to debate this person. And then he upped the amount, I think, to $150K initially. I immediately dismissed it. I genuinely had never heard of the name Andrew Wilson before. Except
you have.
And my assumption was that this was a PR ploy, a move for some young influencer that was coming up through the ranks and had a little bit of money to spend to get their name out there. It's almost like...
Does anybody believe this bullshit? Do any of you believe any of this bullshit? Any of you? I never heard of the guy before. Never. I never heard of him. Who's that guy? Just what a crock of shit. These people are so full of shit.
And people do this, you try to buy an ad for yourself. It's a it is an industry strategy to get your name out there. Of course, the Charlie Kirk case was not some gimmick to me. We have not been asking for money, just a public discussion with Turning Point USA, one of their affiliates, regarding the case.
Yeah, but there's no actual good reason that Owens or any of her camp can give why Turning Point USA, who's not suspected of doing anything, needs to go and answer Candice's questions, but Candice doesn't need to answer other inquirers' questions about her positions.
If that's true, that, and why hasn't, if that's true and Candice can prove that he's innocent, why hasn't the defense reached out to her? Why? Why hasn't the defense reached out to any of these left-wing, or not left-wing, she's not left-wing, she's a feminist, but she's not left-wing, any of these conspiracy theory nut jobs out here? Why haven't they reached out to any of them?
Nobody, by the way, nobody can explain that glaring contradiction. It makes zero sense why it is that Candace Owens is owed any answers by Turning Point USA, but owes no answers to people who are inquisitive about her crazy-ass positions. Super credible, per usual. I don't know which one you're referencing, if you're referencing Owens there.
Whether that be Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, Yankin Bank Frank, somebody who was there on the scene that day. We've offered them the floor repeatedly. Now, what I had not appreciated until people began sending me clips of this Andrew Wilson guy following,
who you'd never heard about before until you saw me on Joe Rogan, even though you tweeted about me before I went on Joe Rogan.
His sit down on Joe Rogan, is that he is sort of affiliated with Turning Point USA, another person in their orbit that they're boosting, so much so that he's apparently hugging Erica Kirk at
my God, that monster. That monster, Andrew Wilson.
Turning Point USA headquarters. I will let you take a listen to what he told Joe Rogan during their sit down. Take a listen.
We offered, that guy is really good looking, by the way. I mean, just objectively, he's a very handsome fellow. Candace Owens offered her $300,000 to do a debate. I was like, ooh, who's we? Well, that would be me and Brian Atlas. Brian Atlas offered up $100K of the pot, and I offered up $200K of the pot. That would be who we are. But I'm guessing that she's inferring that we would be an evil hatched plan by Turning Point USA. Idiot. Like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to Charlie. And that's exactly what she thinks, by the way.
Based on what?
Well, that's the $1 million question. Yes, it is the $1 million question. This guy's a smart guy. She knows. You've been arguing with Ian and hosted her show while she's been on maternity leave for her last baby. She's seen the tweets. And she knows. She's full of shit. Smoky, huggy man bad. Yes, I know. I gave a widow a hug. I'm a monster. I get it. She's already trying to poison the well. Let her poison it. Nobody actually knows. She's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel ever worked to Kirk. Nope. That Erica Kirk certainly didn't. In fact, nope. In fact, her position for the longest time was if Erica Kirk comes out and tells me to stop, which she did, stop this, to stop the conspiracy on this, I will. So Erica did. She went out publicly and she was like, enough, enough. You're just causing more problems than good here as this investigation's going on. And then suddenly Erica's now part of the conspiracy. That is, in fact, what happened, by the way. By the next day, she's trying to cover it up. She's part of the conspiracy, too. Mm. When I went to the TPUSA HQ, and I talked to Erica briefly while I was there, the first thing I did was... Okay, here comes the monster part. Andrew Wilson being a monster, as usual. That hug was promised to her 3,000 years ago. Was what I think every normal, moral human being would ever do. I gave her a hug. And I told her how god-awful sorry I was that happened to her. Like, could you even imagine how that's got to feel for her? Especially now that she has tens of thousands of people accusing her of and conspiring to and then cover up what happened to her own. I mean, that's like mind-boggling psychological torture on a level that I've never seen. That's exactly right. That guy is real smart. And I've been saying it from the very beginning. The second that this turned this way, that I've seen this sort of psychological warfare before, just at a smaller scale. I saw it against my own wife. I've seen it myself. I know exactly what this game is. Shaming tactics don't stop inconvenient conversations anymore.
Yeah, and hindsight is 2020, but given the reaction, I think it probably would have been better for her to like lay low for a little while.
1,000%.
The going out with the sparklers was not a great idea. Like all that was not a great idea because it just seemed insane.
Now, let's see what he really said.
Thank you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's an awful convenient place to cut the clip. Why I think it's perhaps agrees with my position on it. The thing that's interesting is that Joe likes to do this. It's the way that he does conversations. He'll kind of devil's advocate a bit until the position gets out there, and then he can agree or disagree with it.
Let's see what he said
here. As time has gone on. And if you're going to represent your view, I want you to be the best at representing that view.
Some people are better at processing out. Balling.
You know, Americans here, cottontail for them to eat, and there's plenty of. That's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
And
that's the first time I had heard that. I grew up.
But the fucking program.
So
I would have to search it and see where it's at. I don't know where it's at. Doesn't matter.
Very
because
convenient.
He agreed with Andrew after that.
For saying that, people were going, yeah, okay. Now I'm interested because first off, I wasn't expecting Andrew Wilson to look like that. I understand, I guess, perhaps could probably guess how you magically fell into money to be running around offering $300K for.
It was magic, ladies and gentlemen.
Believe in
magic. Magic that I fell into money. Man.
I believe in magic.
I didn't know that. See, here I thought I'd worked my ass off for 6 years, battling my way across the internet against every leftist scumbag in existence, and earned every dime that I got. But apparently it's magic. Oh, it's magic. Magic money.
For a conversation. And I
not a conversation, a debate.
Also now understand, having looked into it, why Blake Neff and Andrew Colvat seem to be boosting you on X. Now,
why? Why do they seem to be boosting me on X? I'm curious.
For everyone who was like me and legitimately did not know who this man was.
Oh, they all know who I am. Sorry, lady.
5 minutes ago.
They all know.
Andrew Wilson apparently had a presence in the manosphere debating feminists. And
nope.
We're watching,
wrong again.
We're reviewing what he talked about the other day on the stream.
That would explain why he was appearing on the Whatever podcast, which regularly features these sorts of debates. I've been on the Whatever podcast and I've done these debates, so has Charlie Kirk.
And you were terrible at them.
Terrible.
Absolutely awful at them. Kirk was better, but you were pretty bad at them. Abracadabra, alakazam.
But now, of course, for, I guess, either the right price or a chance at staying or being in the limelight,
it's about being in the limelight. Well, it's about destroying terrible positions which are bad for the conservative movement. A thing which the Crucible has excelled at for 6 straight years and is going to continue to excel at. When you have terrible positions and you poison the minds of people away from conservative politics and Christian ethics, you actually do serious damage to the nation. Not magic, just grift from above. Yes, it is the gift of grift. She wouldn't have even responded to this if she didn't feel that you were something she needed to get ahead of. Oh, yeah. Look, she gives the game away quite a bit here. Oh, damn, look at you falling into my money. To hell with Candice. Yeah. One of the most super chatted channels in the world. One of the top super chatted channels in the United States, usually within the top 5. Well, how did Andrew get his money? She's insinuating Erica Kirk gave you $200,000 to give to her so she could debate whether Erica unalived her husband. Yes, this is her theory. Her theory is that TPUSA gave me a bunch of money to challenge her to debate on whether or not TPUSA was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. A brilliant strategy by Mrs. Owens. Man, as a debate opponent, I'm already terrified.
Willing to sort of flip his position and kind of present himself as a feminist right there, tasked with defending Erica Kirk taking.
What? I actually don't even understand how she gets to this logically. Can somebody explain it to me? How do you even get to this?
Right there. Staying or being in the limelight, he's willing to sort of flip his position and kind of present himself as a feminist right there.
How? What the fuck is she talking? What are you talking about, lady? What the hell is she talking about? He's kind of flipping his position and turning into a feminist right there. What? How? What is she talking about?
Tasked with defending Erica Kirk taking over her late husband's company.
Who tasked me to do this? Did you notice that she never actually said who tasked me to go defend Erica Kirk and her blah, 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 blah? Never actually says who does this. Candice is great at this. She likes to make conjecture without telling you any of the details because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Wait, so she says she doesn't know who you were before Joe Rogan, but somehow knows all your positions on feminism to the point that somehow you flipped them? Yes. And also tweeted about me, but must have forgotten about that just a few days before I went on Joe Rogan. Go figure. It's like she has amnesia. I don't know. Does Candice have amnesia? I have no idea. Didn't she come into a large sum of money via her husband? Yes. You need to counter stipulate that she make and present you a sandwich. Why would I do that? I just want to debate. She's stating you're part of the manosphere, which you don't defend, or which doesn't defend women, and that's what you're doing with Erica Kirk. You're now a feminist. That also would make 0 sense. Even that is it's a nonsense position. A, I'm not part of the manosphere. I've taken them on as much as I have taken on feminists. In fact, I've even called them meninists. A lot of it, I think, is feminism for men, or I call them degenerates and tangle with them just as much. I'm a Christian ethicist. I'm in all of these different spaces.
A $250 million organization while the kids are back home with no parents as she travels the country. Now, he's sympathetic to those positions. Now, Andrew Wilson.
Now he's sympathetic to those positions. Sympathetic to the fact that when anytime, and I don't know why these people get this wrong all the time, but this is something she would get devastated on in the debate too. Do you realize the distinction between a woman who decides on their own to become a girl boss and take over be the CEO, work their whole life towards that, and somebody whose husband was, and they're taking over his legacy so that it doesn't get destroyed? Do you see how there could be a distinction to be made there? That when we're talking about the girl boss archetype, or we're talking about the single mother on purpose archetype, that doesn't generally apply to women whose husbands were as highly placed as Kirk and were publicly assassinated. That's the rules kind of go out the window a little bit there.
They sure do.
How would this broke bum possibly afford to put up $200,000 to debate me? It's like, lady, my channel makes more super chat revenue than your channel does.
Looks to be about 50 years old. That's the best that I could do in terms of finding his age.
The best that she could do. Even though every single episode of whatever, basically, or almost all of them, you give your name and your age. I'm Andrew Wilson. I'm 42. But okay, fair enough.
point that I really was
Detective Owens couldn't figure out how old I was.
surprised by. Because again, I thought this was like someone younger coming through the ranks.
Why? Why would you even assume that? Why is that even an assumption? Please stop leaving your magical money in my wallet, Smokey Man. I'll try, bro. I'll try.
Worry not, though, because when he debates, he's always drinking a beer. So he wants you.
I mean, that's also not true. Occasionally when I debate, I'm drinking a beer, but usually it's on like a really long podcast. It was like 8 or 9 or 10 hours. Sometimes I'll have a beer then. And sometimes during a 1v1 debate, I'll have a beer, but I don't usually drink during a debate either.
You know, he's cool.
That's true.
His ex-profile pic is of him smoking a cig.
That's also true. Handsome devil, that guy.
Because that's like 50-year-old man doing this is crazy. That's his brand.
42-year-old man.
Or something. He's like Timu Danny Zuko from Greece, but with a potty mouth, to be sure. Greece was a clean movie, born to hand.
Oh, can't do the cussing. Can't do the cussing. You can accuse people of being involved in a conspiracy to their family members, but saying they fucking are involved in a conspiracy to their family members, that's just a little too far. A little bit too far, ladies and gentlemen. I credit Eminem for her downfall. Anyone that guy disses in a song seems to get off the deep end. Good point.
I actually really liked it. He chain smokes throughout debates and he denigrates people so that people know just how like fresh to death he is.
Okay. I don't know what the hell she's talking about there. Match energy. If someone's being a complete asshole to me, I'll be a complete asshole back. But if they're not, I'm not. Pretty simple. $20. It's hard for me not to think Candice is kind of evil because she's basically using tragedy of her dead friends to make money while psychologically abusing and publicly shaming and attacking his wit. Listen, you need to understand the distinction in worldviews. From Candice Owens' worldview, she's a hero. She's at the head of the biggest crowdsourced, crowdfunded whodunit mystery of our lifetime. And she's leading the charge. And in the morning, she puts on her tweed jacket and tweed hat, and she gets to mystery solving. She gets in her little mystery machine van, and she drives over, and she gets out her little magnifying glass, and she starts the mystery solving process to figure out who done it. She pulled the mask off.
I agree.
The problem is she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about or doing. And so after months of investigating this, she's come up with nothing. Not a single viable alternative.
One thing that Candice is good at is throwing out a lot of information with zero to back it up. Never says names so she can be held accountable. And just says, well, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions, y'all. I'm just asking questions. You can't blame it on me because I'm just asking questions. Don't blame the question asker. Just blame someone else because I'm just asking questions over here.
To the state and Tyler, nothing. She has no viable alternative to this at all. Imagine spending all of that money on a tweed suit and magnifying glass and coming up with nothing. Nothing. Almost a year. Nothing. It's hard. Yeah. So never attribute to evil. Like that cringe. Yeah, it's demonic. Stop it. Stop it. Stupidity. Stupidity is even more dangerous than evil.
Yeah, but
even more dangerous.
Yeah, but she blames people without saying names, so nobody can say that she blamed anybody. I can't say who she blamed. Even when questioned on Piers Morgan about it, he goes, a couple people in TPUSA knew about it. Who? I can't say their name because I don't have proof. So you're lying? Nobody then? I can't tell you who it is because I don't have proof. So you should probably shut your mouth and not bring it up since, you don't have proof. Because she knows if she said their name, she'd be in for a lawsuit because there's no proof.
Too far, Andrew. Too far. She's such a super sleuth solving the Charlie Kirk case, but can't investigate how old you are. Brilliant. Yes, this is a genius we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. In every single capacity, she's brilliant. Her investigatory powers and prowess is second only to that of one Sherlock Holmes. Second only to, by the way. Woman tax incoming, says Fiona. Oh, whoa, Fiona. That's quite the name. She says she provided more evidence than protection in this clip. The most illogical person with a large platform besides Brian Shapiro. Probably.
I really shudder at this prospect. Well, here's my counteroffer. Now that I know that turning
Ooh, there's going to be a counteroffer.
points in the orbit.
Turning points in the orbit. How do we know this again? Did we establish how we know turning points in the orbit yet? Has anybody established this yet? How did we get to this part? But anyway, she's established that since TPUSA is in the orbit, then what now?
Right? Andrew Wilson, currently trending on X.
Just say it again. Say it again.
Turning points in the orbit. Right? Andrew Wilson, currently trending on X.
Ooh. Trending on X. Bit of a blow to the old ego, I guess, eh? For once, there's a platform that's much larger than theirs that they can't control. The Joe Rogan podcast, they can't control it. Biggest podcast in the world. They couldn't control the narrative. And so they freaked out, boy. Andrew Wilson trending on X.
I just want to point out, Candice Owens said that her podcast was the largest in the world. And when I looked it up, it wasn't even the top 15 in the United States. Wasn't even the top 15 in the U.S.
Joe Rogan trending on X. They freaked the out and zerged out of their mind. They started zerging. Thank you. Stu Peters said today, all he wanted out of your debate was to get you to admit you were paid by TPUSA. A thing which I never denied. A thing which I never denied, that I went and taught a one-day debate course and then charged them for it. Ooh, man. Up there on that payroll, these people don't know what an independent contractor is. They don't know that I give debate lessons to people all over the world all the time. I don't get it.
By the way, for having lied to Joe Rogan throughout this entire interview.
No, told him the truth and was one of the few who ever did. I didn't try to sensationalize shit. I just stuck to the facts. That's it. I stuck to the facts.
This obviously backfired.
It obviously backfired. Then why are you talking about it? Why are you yapping your yap about it, Candice, if it backfired? It's because what actually happened, there's a platform who's larger, whose narrative they can't control. And they panicked. And this is what panic looks like. Respecting someone is easy when you agree with them. For the first time, I find myself on the other side, which is when respect actually counts. She's still losing it, though. No question about that. There's no question about it.
Comments are amazing, making fun of him, and nobody buying the Erica Kirk slop, the Christian slop.
All lies, by the way. It's true that they started zerging, but actually people were calling them nutcases and Fruit Loops and freaks and weirdos. Same thing on the YouTube side. And they were zerging hard, boy. Sharing it everywhere, and which of course created more views for the episode, which of course is good for me.
Trying to emote to make us feel like anything that's happened since Charlie Kirk's assassination makes sense.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. None of it. It's just nothing makes sense, guys. I can't make sense of this. I can't make sense of it. Why can't we come on, guys. I want to make sense of it. Why can't we make sense of what happened? It doesn't make any sense. You're telling me that this guy is really upset because he was a Fruit Loop and went and Charlie? That doesn't make any sense.
That we should feel bad for caring and investigating. But anyway, he's trying.
Let me unequivocally get this message out to all of these people. You are LARPing. All of you are LARPing. You're not investigators. You're dumbasses. As Red Foreman would say from that 70s show, you're a dumbass. You are not investigating anything. Your investigation has uncovered nothing. You have not done anything at all to help with this investigation. How can I prove it? Prosecutors used nothing from you. Nothing. I'm sorry, the defense. Defense has used nothing from you. Defense has not done anything, done nothing to help, or they've done nothing to help the defense. Nothing. Haven't used a single thing from them. The investigators. Not investigating shit. And if they are, they're the worst investigators on planet Earth. Somebody asked me the other day, why don't you do a college campus tour with TPUSA? You're one of the best debaters out there on the right. I said, well, that's a nice compliment, but here's why. Because a left-wing lunatic will kill me, and then her fan base will blame my wife and my best friends for it. No qualms whatsoever about debating this chick. It'll be easy as pie. And by the way, I'll concede, no ad homs, no personal attacks. The first person who makes one, in fact, they forfeit. Totally fair. You never even have.
Which she said was ridiculous when it comes to. She said that was a ridiculous statement. That it shouldn't be that shouldn't be a thing.
To worry about a single ad hom, single personal attack. We'll just go straight facts, but I get to cross-examine your claims.
Because he similarly in this discussion with Joe Rogan lied in relation not just to me, but tried to like pretend that I'm somehow tangential to the leftist Un-F America tour. I've never so much as spoken to them.
Never said you did.
But then he also lied about them. He's
Nope, didn't lie about them either.
Accusing them of like laundering money.
Nope, never accused them of laundering any money.
And doing this on Joe Rogan's platform.
Like none of that ever even happened. She just made it all up. Imagine she just made the whole thing up. Listen again. This lunatic just making shit up in her own brain.
In relation, not just to me, but tried to like pretend that I'm somehow tangential to the leftist Un-F America tour. I've never so much as spoken to them.
Never claimed that she spoke to them. Ever. Never happened once. Let me help you with what the claim is, though, just in case those of you who are out there are wondering. The claim is that Z. Cohen has received oodles and boodles of money through the processor Act Blue, which, as you guys probably know, is at the heart of several investigations for doing unethical things you're not supposed to be doing.
What does that mean?
And the way you know that these are left-wingers and left-wing NGOs who are sending her the money is because they're sending it through Act Blue. That's what they're doing. And we tracked it and showed all of the receipts. And come Friday, we'll just drop all of the receipts again. And you can go through them to your heart's content. But you don't even have to take my word for it. You can go to the FEC right now and look up how many payments were processed through Act Blue to Ground Game, which is Z. Cohen Sanchez's NGO, Ground Game.
Do you like?
She used
Candice Owens because she's a
this illicit
liar.
funding. I consider it illicit because it came from leftists in order to build her brand. And she utilized the Un-F America tour to stalk Charlie Kirk and stalk TPUSA and is still planning when they have their new tour to stalk them. She works with another account often called Project Constitution. I dropped all of the tweets, and I'll drop them all again. Hand in hand, they work together, retweeting each other, talking to each other. In fact, Project Constitution said that Z. Cohen Sanchez was more like Charlie Kirk than I would ever be. That's what he said. That's what this guy said. That's the claim. What she's talking about here is just nonsense she made up in her brain. That was never even stated on Joe Rogan's podcast. Just made it all up. Why do you think she didn't show you the clip?
But then he also lied about them. He's accusing them of like laundering money.
Never accused them of laundering money.
And doing this on Joe Rogan's platform, absent any fact check.
No, you could definitely fact check it. I did a whole stream about it.
He just lies, I guess.
No, you just lie, lady. Everything you just came out of your mouth was a lie. I never said any of that, which is why she didn't show any.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I like this cult. This is a nice cult. This cult has treated me well. So no, thank you.
Any of the clips. She never showed any of the clips. Why? Because she's lying through her teeth.
Yes, that's where they're at right now. Turning Point just needs people that are willing to lie. Nonetheless, I said,
Well, then they should hire you because you seem to be great at it.
I have a counter offer.
Ooh, counter offer. I want to hear the counter offer.
He says 300K. Let's make it 500K, right? I just have the hunch, this feeling.
This hunch and feeling. She's got a hunch, ladies and gentlemen, and her feelings also. She's got a hunch. She's got a feeling. I can't wait to hear her hunches and feelings. It's my favorite thing to listen to from women is how they feel about you.
Gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or
She has a gut instinct that I may be being backed by Turning Point USA. Her gut's telling her that. She's got a gut instinct.
their affiliates in this
Or their affiliates in this case.
debate request. It's just, you don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation.
Well, the problem you got, lady, is that you don't know shit about nothing. So again, one of the most super chatted channels in the United States, one of the most super chatted channels in the world. I don't know what the you think I have no idea what she's talking about. Oh, wait, I do. I do know what she's talking about because she tells us.
Gut instinct that you're
Yes, a gut instinct.
maybe being backed by
Ooh, a gut instinct and feelings. More of that compelling Candice Owens evidence that I'm so used to hearing about
No.
from our.
He didn't get anything. He didn't get destroyed by X by Candice at all. She threw out demands. He threw out demands. They met somewhere in the middle. That ain't nothing to do with getting defeated by anybody. Dumbass.
Detective, our fine Detective Owens here. Absent her tweed suit. She has a gut feeling. I just don't have that kind of money laying around.
Andrew lost so much aura. That's crazy.
Defense have publicly wrote out something that they want nothing to do with Candice and others for their defense. I'm aware.
See how much aura
Turning
he's
Point
lost.
USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just, you don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. I mean, not with that smoking habit in today's economy.
360.
What a clever joke. Not with that smoking habit in today's economy. No way.
So much
Andrew
aura.
Wilson must spend at least $300,000 a year on cigarettes. Wait, now she wants $500,000 after we've been told nonstop on
You
X
don't
by these
know
idiots
anything
that she
about this, so
doesn't
don't
need
come
the
at me
money.
with a guy
I know,
like
it's
you.
wild.
You don't know what you're talking
Candice
about.
Owens, who doesn't need the money, suddenly she wants the money. Andrew has $300,000 under his couch cushions.
Right. And given the fact that Turning Point USA has raised $40 million in one night off of Charlie's blood, literally encasing
America
his bloody
is cooked if we keep
microphone
listening to
at a
people like
fundraiser
Candace,
event.
sure.
Which has what to do with me? I don't know. Can somebody tell me what the that has to do with me? Even if it was all true, like what would that even have to do with me?
That his grieving widow could be captured by the camera standing next to it. I think 500K feels more appropriate. They want to invest in you. You're their guy.
What? Who said any of this? Who said? Can somebody tell me where she gets this idea that TPUSA is investing money in me? What is she talking about? You're their guy. They're investing money in you. The godfather of TPUSA.
They'd be better off if they did.
Tell them that's what it costs.
Okay. So here's what we'll do.
If-
Wish granted. Here's what I'll do.
If TPUSA would hire Andrew and get him actually on their payroll, they would be a lot better off, because then they would actually have a strong male figure instead of these woke feminists that they have right now.
We'll crowdsource $1 million. I'll put out $1 million crowdsource that will have this debate, and I'll take 500 grand, and you could take 500 grand. Easy.
I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, fucking whatever your name is, Planet. But if a man doesn't take up for his wife and doesn't defend his wife, then he's not much of a man. So the fact that you're saying, oh, he crashed out over his wife. Yeah, dumbass. Come sit in front of my face, talk shit about my wife, and see if I punch you in the mouth. I'm just saying. Andrew's more, he's a lot better than I am.
I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. Deal. We'll put out a crowdsource for $1 million.
They have 5 kids, dipshit.
She doesn't have to do shit. We'll do it all ourselves. If she takes 500,000, I'll take 500,000. Simple. King of the grift, baby.
What's 500K between old friends, right?
Nothing, but I don't know why you think I need to go TPUSA to get it. I don't know what the she's talking about. What are you talking about, lady?
Oh, no.
We'll crowdsource it. $1 million. 500K for yours truly, and then 500K for Candice Owens. But I have some stipulations of my own for that kind of money.
I'm going to go cry over there.
Also, my second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant. So if you fancy a debate face to face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debate.
We don't have to do an in-person debate.
Nobody cares what you say, Planet. You're
totally not necessary to do an in-person debate. But I'm fine with one if that's what she would prefer. But it has to be done on neutral ground. So if she would prefer in-person, that is a fair request. She's pregnant. So I should come out to at least some place that's adjacent where we can meet. Maybe she wants to have private security there. I don't care. They can hold a machine gun the entire time I wreck this chick in the debate. I don't give a shit.
Beautiful.
So that's a fair stipulation.
Man,
what else?
Crazy.
If it's done in person. Doesn't have to be. We could do it via video too.
Debates, don't worry. It will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want. Like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks.
Fine with that too, as long as I have the same exact resources. However, I don't think it's actually fair. I'm not trying to debate with her and an entire team. I'm trying to debate with her. So in person, probably much better.
As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy.
Not his podcast.
Well, yeah, you're pregnant. And by the way, what does she think that I chain smoke inside of buildings I'm debating in? What is she talking about? And where does she get the tough guy? That's right, tough guy.
You're
not chain smoking around me, tough guy. Who the chain smoke around you? You're pregnant. And it's what? Yes.
Look, DBN-09E. Look, if you want me to answer your questions, send super chats. If you want to just keep rambling on with the insults and whatever, you can just keep talking in the chat and I'll just keep ignoring you. If you want me to answer your questions, send your super chats. If not, then what you say is irrelevant.
Usually when I go to in-person debates, I sit down inside of somebody else's building and start chain smoking.
Anybody else here. If you want to come in and you want to talk shit to me, send super, and you want to answer from me, send super chats and I'll answer you. Until then, I'm just going to read your comments in my head. I'm going to say, fuck you, and then I'm going to keep moving. Just the way I roll, bro.
What is she talking about?
2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy. Okay? So you're just going to...
What the hell does that have to do with tough guy? Nothing. I don't get it. Okay, tough girl. Okay, Savage Ann, I won't chain smoke around you. It's stupid stipulation. What a strange criticism that you smoke and drink the godfather to one of her children's Michael Knowles, who smokes and drinks. You know what? Michael, no, actually, that's true. Me and Michael Knowles don't have any interpersonal relationship at all. So here's what my proposition is. Neutral ground, we'll fly out to like your jurisdiction or whatever, but I'm not coming to your studio. That's not neutral ground, and that would be a ridiculous ask. Neutral ground, Michael Knowles as the moderator. That's somebody we can both trust. Now, I've never sat in and had Michael Knowles moderate a debate for me, but I've seen him moderate. He's also a good debater. He understands logic, and I think he'd be a fair moderator. And that's somebody we could both trust. So let's ask Michael Knowles if he'll do a debate moderation for myself and Candice Owens. If he's a godfather of one of her kids, right? My suggestion, my ask would be Michael Knowles, and here's what I'll even do. If we raise this money, right, I'll take $25,000 and give it to Knowles if Candice does the same. If she doesn't want to, fine. Then he can just take my $25,000. But that guy, I think, would moderate fairly. I think that he would stick exactly to the format that we demanded, and I think he would do it.
You have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home.
Well, no, I don't have to leave my cigs at home, but what? Why would I have to leave my cigs at home? I just don't smoke in the room you're in, lady. What are you talking? Why would I need to leave my cigs at home?
And this is actually, I would say, the most important part for me. This is what has to happen. Third part here. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning.
What? Hang on. What?
Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case.
So you want them to lie? Wait, what? She wants them to lie? Is that what I'm hearing here? She wants them to lie. She wants them to what? That's ridiculous. That stipulation is ridiculous. It's not true. It's literally not true. It's an untrue stipulation. How could anybody concede to this? It's okay, well, my stipulation is that you have to come out publicly and say that the Arabs own you because the own you. It's like, what are you talking about?
Wings.
Nobody even on Candice's side is going to believe that that's a good faith ask. I've literally conceded to almost every ask that she's made here, but this is ridiculous. What? How they have to claim? What the does that mean? I don't work for TPUSA. I don't work for them. How the hell would they claim me?
Sending you in to debate on their behalf.
I'm sending me in to debate on my behalf. I've been wrecking you dummies since Kirk died. I started with the leftists on TikTok and then started wrecking the conspirators who've been ruining the right. How the hell am I supposed to get them to claim me? I don't work for them. That's the most foolish stipulation ever. So no, she's going to have to strike that stipulation because it's nonsense. It's you're asking for something that's impossible.
Regarding the Charlie Kirk case. Right?
Like
no worming away after the fact. They don't get to go, we don't really know this guy, whatever. You have their boost.
What? Yeah, they know me. I went down there to train debaters. I met them. Yes, of course. What do you mean? If that's the stipulation, like they just say, yeah, we know who the guy is, then yeah, I think that's fine. But
get your claims
this
right.
whole claim him thing is weird. That's just weird.
Get your claims right.
Well, I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. What is she even talking about? They have to claim him.
You're at the headquarters teaching people how to debate.
Yeah. And I'm an excellent debater. Debated to the best in the whole world, unlike you, who haven't debated anybody on anything ever.
I got to tell you, from the outside, it kind of looks like Turning Point USA scraping the bottom of the barrel, looking for influencers.
That's nice. Great. Whatever the hell that means. Not with you, though. They weren't scraping the bottom of the barrel there. That's an I don't really want to debate you stipulation. I don't understand the stipulation. It's something outside the realm of possibility because I don't work for them. What the hell is she talking about? It has nothing to do with them. I made the debate challenge. I'm not asking TPUSA to pay for anything. I will literally crowdsource fund this. I'll take $500K, give her $500K. I'll raise $1 million. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I really don't think it's going to be much of a problem. People want to see this debate in the worst way. They want to see this woman get cross-examined.
And they've now arrived at people who are just amoral, who will lie about what people have said and intentionally.
If that's the case, how come we didn't play the clip of Rogan so that we could see your lies, Candice? How come? Why? Yeah, I'll debate you, Andrew, but first you have to juggle 27 elephants, travel to Neptune, fight a T-Rex. This is like crazy wackadoo stuff. First, Erica Kirk and Andrew Colvett, they have to claim you, okay? They got to claim you. The first thing, Andrew Colvett, you have to claim him. There's no weaseling away later. You have to say he's going to debate on your behalf. No, broad, I'm going to debate on my behalf. The hell is she talking about? What is this chick talking about? How embarrassing. Love how she thinks and believes. We can't see right through her. That's a ridiculous stipulation. Even the Candice must know that that's a ridiculous stipulation.
Actually misrepresent their positions and who I would say are not reminiscent of the honest debate strategy and style that was once employed by their company founder. I mean, Charlie Kirk's brand was clean and respectable. Here is Andrew.
That's clean and respectable. Charlie Kirk's brand was clean and respectable.
That was the same claim that that sniz looking Charlie said, right? Woman can have 300 bodies, but as long as she got rid of the babies, then she's okay. But as soon as she had one child, she's no longer a good woman. That's the same claim that Sniz and Charlie had, right?
And now it's not. It has these guys in it who smoke.
That's what she said, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's what she said. She said that if Rachel would have gotten rid of her children and had the abortion over there, then it would have been good. And she would have been looked at differently. She said that. Pretty sure she said that.
If you want to have a good faith with me, a good faith debate with me, then you have to concede that Erica Kirk and Israel, Charlie, they did. They Charlie. Okay, they did. I mean, they didn't, but okay, okay. Create another crazy stipulation.
Andrew Wilson, who, I'm not kidding, Turning Point USA says they welcomed him to teach others how to debate.
Yeah. And leftists, they welcomed me to teach them.
It's crazy that someone like TP USA, who has a debate that sends out people to debate on their behalf at college campuses, would hire someone with a debate course on how to debate.
How to debate leftists because I'm one of the very best at debating leftists in existence.
Here's him debating a feminist leftist.
Sushi, you are a liar. He don't want to end women's suffrage. He doesn't think that women should. He doesn't think that all women should not have the right to vote. You are a liar. He never said that. He does believe, though, that most people shouldn't be able to vote. Most people, not women, most people.
Yes, her name also happens to be Charlie.
Okay, you're gonna pull the clip. We're gonna do the bad faith clip where I defend the wife. Great. Oh, she's gonna go through it all. No context, no nothing.
Him in a nutshell.
Thousands upon thousands of debates, and you're only going to play 30 seconds of one where somebody
Liberty,
attacked my
Iran,
wife.
Country,
And so I told them to f off.
Contra affair. Don't even know what the
Jeez,
name.
every time these people. There's no way to cop out. By the way, if it's the case that that's all I do, that's the limits of my debating, then you should be able to crush me easily. You should be able to just stomp my guts out everywhere easily.
He is
And
for
again,
he is
just to
not
give you
for
guys the
universal
proof here, Andrew
He
Colbeck
does not
claims they
want
did pay
most
him,
people to vote.
but
And-
only to come into
For instance, why should an 18-year-old that doesn't have the full frontal cortex develops yet be able to vote, get rid of your vote at 45, at 50? Why should an 18-year-old, they say the full frontal cortex doesn't develop until 25. Nobody should be voting until 25. Not that complicated. He also says multiple times, you should do some research, that it's universal. If you want the right to vote, have some service to your country. Not just because you turn a magical age of 18 that you can vote again.
teach their students how to debate here.
Yeah, that's correct. The thing I've been very public about from day one. Again, let's say CPUSA they called me up and
wife
like, Andrew
wrote a book on occult feminism, dumbass, not the right to vote, dumbass.
listen, we would love to have you come work for us. Let's just say I wanted to for some. It's like, okay, great. I'll go do that. We're going to pay you $50 million. I'd be like, okay, great. So I'd be on stream. Someone would be like, how much CPUSA paying you? I'd be like, $50 million. I don't give a shit about that stuff. Doesn't bother me a bit. If it's something I believe in, it's not compromising any of my values, but is actually moving towards my values. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't work for them. I don't know what else to tell you. How do I prove a negative? I've told everybody I don't work for him. He's told people I don't work for him. I came in and helped them one day for a debate prep. That went really well. People got a lot out of it. It's not any more complex than that.
Oh my God.
Here's his tweet. He wrote, nope, he was paid for one day of the debate training for our students and campus debate team. He's not, quote unquote, being paid.
Correct.
But seeing how much they seem to hate that idea, maybe we should.
You talking about like that fascist regime that we had in when they restricted everyone to their homes, wouldn't let them see family or friends, and told us that if we went outside and went to our dying family's funeral that we'd be arrested. You mean that fascist regime? Oh, who was the president then? Who was that president? Joe Biden? Shut up. You're so stupid.
Should see if we can work something out. LOL.
Maybe we should. A little Colvette trolling of the Candice. Just a little bit of Andrew
That didn't
Colvette
happen.
trolling there. You're like, well, maybe we should hire the guy. Maybe we should, Candice. Maybe we should.
And Blake Neff sharing clips of him on the Joe Rogan show. He does a great job on Joe Rogan dissecting several of the
assuming you're a
conspiracy
woman,
theories
Lisa?
around Charlie's death and
I'm
answering
assuming you're a
Rogan's
woman?
questions about them. Worth the watch. Okay.
I
Oh,
don't want to
wow.
assume your gender.
Oh, no.
since y'all
Did
can't
Blake
figure out
Neff
what a fucking
retweet?
woman
Oh, my
is.
God. Did
But
he retweet
assume
me? Oh, man. Must be paying me millions.
Lockdowns did not start under 18.
That evidence, a lot of evidence there. Blake Neff retweeted Andrew
Tell you that
Wilson.
already.
He's in the club. Just like that. Right in that club. Of course, tons of her followers also retweeted me, but nobody's accusing them of paying me, of course. Just her.
So, yeah, that's my
Not
counteroffer.
universal mandatory lockdowns from the federal government. Your state Democratic governments may have done it, but the federal government didn't do it until after Joe Biden took office. Hate to be the bearer of bad news for you there. But your Democrat-run countries, cities, states did it in 19, maybe. But where I'm from, Republican governor, Republican senators, Republican mayors, we never had a lockdown. We never got a lockdown.
I want Turning Point USA on record, just to recap, saying that you are representing them. And
why would you want them to lie? I'm representing me. What is she talking about? I'm representing myself.
you know, that they're not going to shirk responsibility and pretend like, oh, we just paid a one time. Yeah.
That's because that's all they did.
He's going in there and we want him to debate on our behalf.
Why in the world would that be a stipulation for a debate with Candice Owens on her views and my views of the Charlie Kirk? That makes no sense at all. Well, they have to, I guess. I mean, I don't know. No, maybe I'll call Andrew up. Hey, man. You know, she put in the stipulation. I guess you're going to have to pay me a whole bunch of money to go do this debate. That's what Candice wants you to do. She wants you to pay me a whole bunch of money to go and do this debate. Is that, I don't even understand how this tracks.
Another point 2A.
That's
obviously,
fine.
you will not
Take
be
it
chain
away.
smoking around me.
Okay.
Nobody cares.
Those stipulations are fair. Not in your studio. That would be unfair. That would give you an unfair advantage in a debate. But
Sign
neutral
up for the draft.
ground,
You join the military,
flying out
you
to
can
where your
vote.
location
You
is
jump
with a
in,
neutral
shut your bitch ass
moderator,
up.
that's fine. I don't have any problem with that.
How about that? Is that more clear
But I
for
have
you?
some stipulations
That's
of my
view.
own.
That's not Andrew's view. That's my view. Is that clear for you?
I have some
though?
stipulations of my own. If we're going to do this, it needs to be a 3.5 hour long debate. And if you quit before the 3.5 hours,
Let me try that again. Sign up for the draft, which you can't do. Join the military, which you can do. Go to war, fight for your country, or shut your ass up. How about that? I like that.
you lose and you don't collect any of the money.
13 years, you couldn't do it any
If you
farther?
quit before
that's
then, you don't
sad.
collect any of the cash.
That's sad.
Secondly, no ad hominems. I won't use them. You don't use them. No insults. Neither of us will use those either. This will literally be about the facts.
Go back to what.
And if you quit, do neutral debate, but neutral ground, flying out to where your location is with a neutral moderator, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. But I have some stipulations of my own.
MBS. What is MBS?
I have some stipulations of my own. If we're going to do this, it needs to be a 3.5 hour long debate. And if you quit before the 3.5 hours, you lose and you don't collect any of the money. If you quit before then, you don't collect any of the cash. Secondly, no ad hominems. I won't use them. You don't use them. No insults. Neither of us will use those either. This will literally be about the facts, and that's it. However, I do demand a 1 hour cross-examination time for each of us. I get an hour to cross-examine. She gets an hour to cross-examine. You do 15-minute openings each. Right? And then the rest you can have open dialogue. But I want an hour each of cross-examination. $500,000? That sounds reasonable. Hour each of cross-exam. She can start with her cross-exam first. Ask whatever questions that she wants and reclaim her time if I don't answer those questions. But I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I'm going to ask her a lot of really tough questions. But again, no insults. None of that. And the first person who uses them forfeits, collects nothing. Those seem like completely fair stipulations. I won't target her family. She won't target mine. We're just going to go there and argue and debate the facts and the facts only.
Well,
And you can't get mad at
if you wanna
tone.
be
If
honest
somebody's
about it.
just like, oh, he's condescending like women do. No, it has to be an actual insult. And that's it. Or an ad hom. Or a personal attack or something like this. How's that for
You're
easy?
a liar. How about that? You're lying.
But 1 hour of cross-exam.
You haven't shaken hands with nobody because you're a liar.
And the questions are allowed to be
How about
open.
that?
Open questions. Relating and pertaining to claims she's made on the Kirk and any claims I've made on the Kirk assassination. Any claims that have been made in regards to this we can ask about. That seems completely reasonable. She agrees to those very, very reasonable terms, very rational terms. She drops the last stipulation, which is ridiculous and nobody can comply with because you're asking people to lie. You're literally asking me to lie and them to lie. Then the rest of it seems fine. I'll fly out to where you're at. I understand you're pregnant. That's fair. No smoking around you. That's fine too. I won't be in the studio smoking. Use my nicotine packs or whatever. And yeah, as long as it's on neutral ground, it can't be in her studio because that wouldn't be neutral. That sounds totally rational and reasonable. Would be great to have a real debate like that. Exactly. It's going to be a real debate. For that kind of money, people deserve a real debate. A real one. Where you actually have to answer for your bullshit. But don't worry. I'll answer for whatever it is you think, whatever claims you think I've made on the case. I'll answer to those too. I'll even let her go first.
I agree. Where's that guy? Now, this is another idiot. I'm sure you like this guy, though. I'm sure you like this guy. Oh, Brashat. Oh, dumbass. Oh, dumbass Brian Shapiro. I'm sure you like this guy, too, though. This guy's a winner. He's a real winner. But, you know, if you would like to throw, you know, if you would like to throw, you know, insults up here, go ahead and send them in the super chats and I'll read them for you. You know, I don't like Big Macs. They're not my thing. Thank you, though. Thank you for the offer.
And we have some, unfortunately, it doesn't bring me any like happiness to talk about the latest job numbers and the economy again headed in the wrong direction and the new numbers that just came out of Wallman, and we cover it here, elements. The thumbnail for the live show today.
Dude, what is this fucking
I haven't
hat you
talked
wear?
about this guy
What is this?
on this radio show in quite a while. It's been months and months.
Months and months.
But I figured we'd have a little fun and we'd talk about it today. As I told you on the show yesterday,
So,
the chain-smoking alcoholic fake
about it
Christian,
yesterday, talked about
also
it
known
day
as
before.
Andrew Wilson, brought up my name in conversation on Joe Rogan's show.
Man, talk about him again.
And I
Crazy.
talked about
He's
it a
a
little bit
liar.
yesterday on the program. Before I play you some audio that I think is a microcosm of what an idiot Andrew Wilson is and how stupid all of his fans are. Yes, I'm just going to say
Again,
it.
if you
All of
wanna-
his fans are very stupid.
Shut the fuck up. I'm talking here. If y'all want to insult me, go ahead and insult me all you want. Do it via super chat. That way, I can read your super chat out loud. But if you want to insult me, do that. Thank you.
I debated Andrew Wilson, didn't know who he was.
Lost terribly.
And quite
You did
frankly,
know
a
who
lot
he
of
was.
people
You're
in
a
the
liar.
political world still don't know who he is. But I debated him, not knowing who he was. I'd never heard of him before, and I was on a Piers Morgan panel.
This guy makes me angry.
This wasn't that long ago. I feel like it was like maybe 8 or 9 months ago, something along those lines. And in the middle of the debate I was having on Piers Morgan with Andrew Wilson, I guess he had some technical difficulties.
You know the slogans of MAGA are from an American Nazi, right? You know the Nazis had a dog, right? You know old mustache man, old Hitler over there, he had a dog, right? You remember, you know that, right? So that means everybody has a dog. I'm gonna say it. But everybody has a dog. You're that. I mean,
and in the middle of the interview,
stupid
his video dropped.
Stupid.
Now, again, I didn't know who this guy was. And I went on social media a few hours later after it aired, and I said, this guy, Andrew Wilson, bailed on me. I think he was afraid of me. And I put a smiley face there. It was just a joke, right? Just having a good time. It was a joke. And then Andrew went on a tirade and called me a liberal and called me names and called me a liar and just went crazy. And I said, my first reaction was, wow, this guy's really weird and insecure. If somebody said that about me and I had technical difficulties, I would just laugh about it, right? I would laugh it off as I laugh off his obsession with me, Brian Derangement Syndrome, making 4 or 5 cartoons about me, talking about me constantly on his live streams. These guys are reaction YouTubers, nothing more, nothing less. That's what they are. So right from the get-go, I got a dosage of his insecurities and the fact that he is mentally ill, and he needs to smoke a cigarette when he's doing a national interview to make himself look tough when he's anything but that. So right off the get-go, I didn't like this guy, and I thought he was a complete imbecile. Now, he has his 5 to 10,000 cuckables. I call them the cuckables. They call them the Crucible fans. I call them the cuckables. He makes a living predominantly off of about 5 to 10,000 of his fans that are cultists. And he makes money off of YouTube super chats, makes a lot of money off of that. That's where I would say 90% of the money he makes is from his 5 to 10,000 cultists. For the most part,
I'm pretty sure his furry boyfriend gave him that hat.
His demographic are white people, men who are misogynist pigs like him. And that's where he makes his money. Now, his wife had asked me to debate him probably 10 months ago in DMs. She wanted me to debate her on feminism. And I said no multiple times. And eventually I said yes, because there was a financial agreement, paid travel and all the other stuff. I said, okay, fine. I'll go out there and I'll be the enemy. And even though I'd never even had a discussion about feminism before, and I did it. And I said, I don't care. They can high five each other and tell me who won the debate and I lost and I got destroyed. That stuff doesn't bother me because I don't have an ego, right? I don't care. I don't care what people think about winning or losing debates, right?
The code is strong.
And my interaction with Andrew back and forth, the last debate that I had with him, he called all the women who accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct all lying, effing B-words. And I said, that's par for the course for who this guy is. I've been very honest and forthcoming on my opinions on Andrew and his wife. I think they're both very bad people. I think they're both very insecure people. I think they both have mental illness. I don't care how much money they make. I don't care about some book that was sold. I don't care about how many live viewers you have. That doesn't mean anything to me. What matters to me in the grand scheme of things is, what do you do to help other people? When you think that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, when you think that women are second-class citizens, when you think that women shouldn't be in powerful positions, you're a misogynist, right? So why am I talking about them today, or Andrew today? Well, as some of you may or may not know, okay?
They make no joke.
As some of you may or may not know, and I was in a group called the Un-F America Tour. They're kind of like the anti-Turning Point Tour, right? I'm in a new group now, but I was in the Un-F America Tour for a while there. And the leader of that tour, her name is Z. She's done this show before. So Andrew not only misrepresented me on Joe Rogan, but also lied about Z and that organization. And listen, I'm not here to defend the organization. I'm just saying what Andrew said was a lie. He made comments about contributions, millions of dollars in contributions that she's made from a group, which was a complete lie, right? All Andrew does is lie. Andrew and Rachel are liars. And this was a blatant lie. So Z did the appropriate thing and said, okay, if you can prove that I'm making money from this group, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, then I'll give you $100,000. Let's make a $100,000 bet. Now, of course, Andrew doesn't agree to it. Of course, Andrew doesn't even respond to the lies that he made on the Joe Rogan podcast, doesn't respond to any of that, but goes into a drunken tirade. And it's really funny because
I want y'all to listen to this whenever he plays it and tell me if you think that Andrew is going on a drunken tirade. I want y'all to tell me if you think he's going on a drunken tirade.
Pathetic. Now, I've always believed that Andrew has a drinking problem. I've talked to him about it, and he said no. But if I had to wake up to Rachel every day, I would probably have a drinking problem as well. But that's another story for another show. So these are the voicemails. These are actual text voicemails that Andrew made to Z. She posted them online.
Voicemail.
And the amazing part about this whole thing is, and how stupid Andrew Wilson's fans are, is that they believe he was just trolling because Andrew says he was just trolling. They'll believe anything Andrew says. When Andrew actually left drunken voicemails, and this is the same guy who had a problem with me calling his wife the B word, okay? But yet,
John,
I want to play for you some of this. It's mesmerizing, and it will blow you away at
You're a liar and just made it
the
up.
fact that this guy needs help. And he's claiming that he was just trolling her when clearly this is a very deranged, drunk, mentally ill man leaving voicemails.
You can be wherever you want to be, bud.
Listen to this.
But if you're going to lie, you might as well super chat. That way we know that you're a liar. You can be on whichever one you want to. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. Wherever you want to go to interact better, just go there.
Oh no, Z! Don't be my worst nightmare! Oh no, please! No! Oh no! Stop! Stop! Oh no! Oh, it's my worst nightmare! Oh! Fucking idiot! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitch! Get the fuck out of here!
Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitch! Did he sound drunk then? Was that a drunken tirade that he just went on? Oh no! Ooh! Oh no! Ooh! Get out of here, you stupid bitch. Did Trump go into changing areas? No, he went backstage. You know, backstage. I just want y'all to understand. I just want to point this out to you, tech support, right? I just want to point this out. Backstage and dressing room are two completely different places. Two completely different places. There's a backstage, and then there's a dressing room. They're both different, completely different. Now, Trump said he went backstage. Never said dressing rooms. He said backstage. So, you're a liar.
All right, so let's just stop there for a moment. Let's take a break. By the way,
Fuck out of here! Oh, fucking idiot! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitch! Get the fuck out of
here, you stupid bitch!
All right, so let's just stop there for a moment. Let's take a break. By the way, there's a lot more. By the way, there's a lot more. So he's leaving voicemails, clearly drunk, calling her the stupid B word. So it's okay for him to do it because the Wilsons live in a glass house. When somebody calls them that, it's World War III. Oh, Brian, you're a misogynist. Oh, Brian, I can't believe you DM'd my wife. But it's okay for him to do this. And listen to this. Like, then he starts burping. Like, it's so grotesque and it's so disgusting.
In the dressing room.
All right, hold on. Stop it. I don't mean to get people sick because it is lunch hour. There are still people in Andrew Wilson's orbit that think that he was just messing with her and trolling and he's not drunk. You know, play that burp one more time. Yeah. Can we play that burp one more time? Boy, what a great actor. He's just belching.
He said backstage. Then if the microphone
I wouldn't worry about it.
If the microphone wouldn't have cut off, it would have been a great burp, but the microphone kind of cut him off. Yes. Backstage. You know, whenever you have the beauty contest and those contests, they don't have time to go, yes, in the open, dude. They don't have time to run back to their dressing rooms, change, and come back out. They go backstage. Have you never been to a damn freaking beauty pageant or anything like that? They run off stage, or even any of that. They run off stage, they change, and then they run back really fast because they're next up again. That's how that shit works. I just want to point, Jacob, I agree with you, okay? So it's not okay to call a woman a stupid bee, but it's okay when you say that the ooh, Lord. But it's okay to say you would become an alcoholic if you were married his wife. Well, in just a few minutes, Brian calls Rachel a stupid bitch. So, hypocritical, bro. Hypocrite. Yeah, I've never my daughter was never in beauty pageants. Never happened. Not one time. Never.
Not too much, see? You can go back to seething on your videos or whatever it is you do. I do thank you for your concern. It's very kind of you to reach out and make sure that I'm okay after my latest Rogan appearance. It's rough out here, I gotta tell you. But I'm glad a bunch of lefties got together to do a ratio on X that nobody will remember in a week. Anyway, have a good night.
Then he leaves another one. It doesn't.
Does that sound like a drunken tirade? Did that really sound like a drunken tirade to you? Because it didn't to me.
Then he leaves another one. Leaves another voice text message, okay? It doesn't end there. If that wasn't as bad enough. Then he goes into a rant about video games. And again,
Backstage.
let me just remind everybody, he's claiming that he wasn't drunk. I told him, I said, this is a really bad look, Andrew. You're leaving drunk voicemails to this chick. You're clearly incoherent. You're slurring your words. You're burping. Anybody, reasonable person would say this guy sounds drunk, and you're claiming that this was all an act, that you were just trolling. It exposes what a lying scumbag this guy is. Go ahead.
I can't decide between Miller or I got this other shitty American beer, but I can't decide. I think I'm going to go with the Miller, Z. I do. I think I'm going to go with the Miller. I'm going to go with the Miller for sure. Also, this fucking game, Mistfall. Don't get this game. Terrible fucking game. It was a bad decision. I'm rethinking my entire life. I really shouldn't have got this game. Terrible. It's fucking awful, Z. It's an awful game.
Pierre, so I'm letting you hear it.
This one, though, it's called Survival Fountain of Youth. Fucking great game. It's severely underrated, too. It's only like $5. It was only $5, Z. Hours of entertainment. Highly, highly recommended. Now, could you ever make a stone spear like that? I don't fucking think so, Z. I don't think you could. Me, though, no fucking problem. Made that shit like it was nothing, Z. Took me, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes max, and now I'm going to go hunt down an animal for lunch. So, how you like that? Well, have fun doing that then. But for me, stone spear making is the epitome of all that is gaming, Z. It really is. It's just wonderful. But, you got to go make your millions or whatever it is you got to do. I get it. I understand. Just listen to this soundtrack with the fire crackling. I'm telling you, doesn't sound like a $5 soundtrack, does it? Like they really went all out for this game. It's something else. It really is, Z. Just give it a try. Go relax. Go play video games or something. Do something. Z, conversations are two-sided, and now I feel like I'm just talking to the void.
Here I was, just waiting for you to give me an answer after I was talking about this fucking game. And you just left me hanging. It's very rude, Z. You're a very rude person. Mean. All right, Z, fine, I guess.
So is there anybody that listened to that just now that thinks that he wasn't on something or he wasn't drunk? Is there any reasonable person that would make that claim? He must be like Robert De Niro, right? Give the guy an Oscar. Of course he's on something. Of course he's drunk. Maybe both. I don't know. By the way, his wife has tweeted at me in the middle of the night, like 2, 3 in the morning, and then has deleted some of those tweets. This was like a month ago. Okay, I don't know what they're both on, but they're definitely both on something, and it certainly sounded to me like Andrew was drunk. But here's where it gets even more pathetic. He goes on social media yesterday after obviously acknowledging it, but I would assume that, oh, I left those voicemails and I was drunk. I was inebriated, because obviously it's incoherent. You can't even really understand what he's talking about. He's slurring his words. He's calling her a goblin, by the way. He called her a goblin, attacking her physical appearance. And anybody who attacks his wife, Chris Farley's appearance, I guess that's too much over the line. But, I don't even drink. Okay. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. But again, they live in a glass house. So he goes on social media, and this is a testament to how stupid the cuckables are, because they're a bunch of very stupid people. The same demo, mostly white men, middle-aged men who are misogynist pigs just like him. And he goes on social media. He says, I was just trolling her. I was just trolling her. Instead of acknowledging that he was drunk, which clearly he was. Now, he's going to lie. He even told me last night, I wasn't drunk. I didn't even have one drink. I was just trolling. You see,
Brian's an idiot.
as I've learned over the course of the last 9 or 10 months, Andrew and Rachel do not take responsibility for anything. They've never lost a debate. They've never done anything wrong. They're perfect human beings. And let's just say for a moment he's telling the truth, which he isn't. This is a grown man leaving voicemails to a woman that you just lied about on the Joe Rogan show, which is provable, by the way, because she was willing to put up $100,000. You're not, because you're a lying scumbag. You're a grown man. I assume he's in his 40s. He looks like he's in his 60s. I assume, with all the smoking and the drinking, whatever else he does, I assume he's in his 40s. You're leaving drunk messages late at night, talking about her appearance, talking about video games, swearing at her, calling her the B word, burping. And these people call themselves Christians. I'm laughing at it because it's so pathetic. I'm laughing at it because I'm realizing how stupid the cuckables are. Like, he can say anything and they'll believe it. Well, I guess he was just acting when he was burping. I guess he was just pretending like he was drunk. Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. I'm sure that's what it is. And what are they doing today? They're not talking about the economy. They're not talking about the latest job numbers that came out. They're not talking, when I say they, I mean the cuckables. They're not talking about the Iran war. They're not talking about the latest vote on the Senate floor. They're not talking about any important issues. What's Andrew doing? He's going back and forth with Candice Owens because he wants to make some money as the two grifters. I would say they both are wanting to debate Candice Owens about the.
Hey, it's your claim, tech support. So prove it. Prove that they're pedos. Prove it right now. It's your claim. It's your claim. Prove it. You made the claim. You prove it.
The murder of Charlie Kirk. I mean, these are not serious people. And I called him a hypocrite yesterday because he'll be the first person to call me out if I call his wife a name. He'll be the first person to play victim. He'll be the first person to want an apology. But when he attacks a woman on looks, or when he says to me, they're all lying effing B words who have made claims of sexual assault to Donald Trump, when he makes statements like that, it's totally okay because he lives in a glass house. So let's be very clear here.
Why did the Democrats hold Why did the Democrats under Joe Biden have office for 4 years and never release one file? Why? Why would that be? Why would that happen?
Okay. Let's be very, very clear. Chances are, if you're...
When did he watch minors? Because he even stated that it was the adults and backstage, not the teens. What are you talking about? You're a liar. You're just a liar, and you don't know what you're talking about. Look it up.
a fan of this guy and you believe him and you don't see anything wrong with those voicemails, chances are you're probably also a misogynist. You probably hate women.
I didn't join this. I didn't do this today to talk about my Trump. Oh, my Trump. Oh, my Trump. My Trump. I didn't. I'm not talking about Trump. Don't give a shit. I don't care. We're talking about Lion Brian. We're talking about Andrew Wilson. We're talking about Candice Owens. I don't give a shit about what you got to say about Trump. If you want to ask Trump questions, send super chats. Until then, I'm not answering any more super chat. I'm not answering any more questions about this stupid ass fucking thing with Trump and the Epstein and the fucking all that stuff. I'm not answering more questions. Put it in the super chats and then I'll talk about it. Until then, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about it.
I, for one, have never said that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. I, for one, have never said that women are second-class citizens. I, for one, have never said that women shouldn't be in powerful positions. To the contrary.
I can. You just don't want. You just so fucking.
When women say
brainwashed,
stupid things, I treat them just like I would treat a man. When women do or say stupid things, I treat them the same as men. I don't care what's between their legs. I don't treat them differently because they're women.
Matthew,
I'm an equal opportunity offender.
Bud.
But never have I ever said that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Never have I ever said that I couldn't be a friend with a woman. That's what of a lunatic these people are. Andrew has even said publicly that he will not be friends with women. What kind of lunatic would talk like that? And then this is the guy that says
You mean he's revealed 3 million of them versus 0 from Biden? But I digress.
He said on the Whatever podcast that he forced his wife to take a paternity test. Boy, that sounds like a really, really loving couple. Very trusting, right? And then he leaves these voicemails. Clearly drunk and incapacitated. Clearly, he's slurring his words. He's calling her these names. He's going on tangents about video games. Notice he doesn't address the issue that Z had, which I think is a fair one, because he lied about her on the Joe Rogan podcast, claiming she's making millions of dollars from a specific organization. And she said, I'll put up $100,000 right now if you can prove it. Doesn't even address it. Leaves drunk, incoherent voicemails. And he'll go on social media and say, I wasn't drunk. I was just trolling. It's so fun to attack this hideous goblin. Those are the words he used to describe her. I think the hideous one is your wife.
Oh, wow. Oh, we wasn't gonna.
The Chris Farley lookalike that you wake up to every day. No wonder why you drink.
Being a hypocrite much, huh? I thought you
so in closing,
I thought you were being a hypocrite. I thought you were not. I thought you were not into the degrading of women. I thought that's what you. I thought you didn't do that, but now she's a. What did you say?
That you wake up to every day.
Goblin?
The Chris Farley lookalike that you wake up to every day. No wonder why you drink.
But
so in closing,
we're not degrading women over here. We don't do that. Brian's a woman advocate. He don't degrade women. He don't degrade women.
This one is your wife. Hideous goblin. Those are the words he used to. I was just trolling. It's so fun to attack this hideous goblin. Those are the words he used to describe her. I think the hideous one is your wife.
Oh, Brian's
the Chris Farley lookalike that you wake up to every day. No wonder why you drink. So in closing, I'll say this.
Yeah.
For all of you cuckable fans out there.
Yeah, that's me.
You're all joke. You're all complete imbeciles. You obviously are all very stupid people. I feel like I'm describing the MAGA base. You all are in a cult. You like it when you hear people demean women. You like it when you hear people like Andrew Wilson demean half the country, demean women, makes misogynist comments. You like it.
I do. I like it.
And that's why you're a fan.
I am. I'm a big fan.
That's why you donate to him. That's why he makes money off of you. Because you like the misogynist attacks.
I sure do.
This is not a serious person. Doesn't talk about the news of the day. He doesn't talk about the real issues that are facing the American people.
Sure does.
He's more interested in going after Candice Owens and having a debate with Candice Owens about the Charlie Kirk murder. His wife doesn't have a job. Yeah, she wrote a book. You know what his wife does all day besides making him drinks? You know what his wife does all day?
What does she do?
She goads people into debating her on the one topic she's capable of debating, which is feminism. Man. That's it.
That's crazy.
That's her Super Bowl.
You know,
that's it.
If I knew something, if I knew about one thing, right? So, like I don't want to out myself. Yes, I do. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Come at me. I don't care. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So if I wanted to sit here and I wanted to talk Dallas Cowboys all day because of something I'm passionate about, something I know about, I'm an evil person apparently, because why would you talk about something you know about? What a stupid thing.
A debate with people on feminism once every several months. That's what she does for a living, and attacking people on social media. These are not serious people. I'm sorry, they're not. They're not serious people. Andrew,
Brian, big mad. Brian, mad.
They're just not.
Spaghetti.
I've been saying this for a very, very long time. And if in fact Andrew's in the chat, which he might be, I don't know.
The Cowboys are going to,
but if Andrew's in the chat,
for a second, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm laughing at you because you're pathetic. I'm laughing at you because you're a liar. You like to attack others for lying.
You're a liar.
You're a liar. There's no reasonable person that would ever say that you were not incoherent and you weren't drunk. I think you need some help, Andrew. And by the way, I don't care about you. I don't care whether you get help or not. I could care less as long as you're not affecting other people, because of your abuse. But you need help, Andrew. You do. I wonder when the last time.
How dare, I agree, Purdy. How dare Andrew's wife raise the next generation while Brian dumps drunk. Oh, I can't speak. Must be drunk. Must be drunk like Andrew was. While Brian humps the Asian tomato. The Asian tomato. The 900-year-old Asian tomato over there. Her real name is Sarah the Raging Tomato, but I like the Asian tomato better. I like it. Makes more sense.
Andrew went 24 hours without drinking. When was the last time?
See, I don't know.
Is there anybody that could actually?
I don't know if this camera's set up. So it may be bad when it turns on. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm still working on this, right? Still working on this. I have a poster here. I have lots of cowboy stuff here. Lots of cowboy stuff. So I'm still working on it, but maybe a backdrop one day because the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm definitely not from Texas, Edwin. Though, thank you though. I'm still not from Texas. Still not from Texas, Edwin. Now, I wish I lived in Texas. I really do. I would like to live out in that area up around North Texas. North Texas is probably my favorite spot. Up closer to Oklahoma. I would love to live out there, but I don't. It's just money, right? It's just money, mud butter. It's just money. Just money. They'll print more. It's fine. All right, what do we have here?
So then we got the epic Brian Shapiro cope. Oh, man.
My phone was blowing up. People saying that Joe Rogan was talking shit about me. He had Andrew Wilson in studio. If you don't know who Andrew Wilson is, I've debated him like 4 or 5 times. He's the fake
time.
Christian.
Lost every time.
$20. Myron commented on her post. Check it out. Oh, really? Did he? So somebody send me the post in the DM quick.
Yeah, he walked into went backstage where they had the dressing rooms maybe set up, maybe. Who knows? From and they were adults. So I don't know your point.
Alcoholic, chain-smoking buffoon, and all he cares about is debating people and claiming he wins every debate. Complete imbecile. I debated his wife about maybe six months ago.
And Joe Rogan and me were laughing about it. Woman, bring me a beer.
Woman, bring
and a
Andrew
pack
a
of
beer.
smokes, woman. Do it.
Bring him a
About
beer.
feminism. By the way, a topic that I've never even discussed with anyone.
But definitely took money to go do a debate about it.
Let alone debated. Long story short,
you lost.
Rachel asked me to debate her on feminism like 10 months ago. I immediately told
Who said underage teenagers? Where'd you see that at, Mud? Where'd you see that at? Where'd you see that at? Because I just pulled it up. He was talking about the adult pageants, the Miss America pageants, that he was running at the time.
her no. And the main reason being, I talk about the news of the day and the news of the week. I've never talked about feminism before, so I told her no. And then several months later, I'm offered money, travel expenses, and all that other stuff. And my manager happened to be brought up not too far from where the debate was, so I agreed to do it.
She looks so disappointed with Brian, by the way. She looks so disappointed with him.
And I knew that I was going to be the enemy. I was going to be the bad guy, and I didn't really care.
All right, hang on. Apparently, I want to read what Myron said to Z here. What do we got? Hang on, I'm pulling it up. Myron said, he said, behavior from this female once again. Myron. All right, back to this. Sorry.
So, apparently...
He also run Miss Universe. Did you forget about that one, I guess?
When Joe Rogan said hello to Andrew and Rachel Wilson in studio, Joe Rogan brought up this debate that I did with Rachel, called
It's true.
me the weird guy wearing the weird hat or something.
He said worse than that.
Something like that, according to Rachel Wilson.
That's fine. You can
And this is how the conversation started when Joe Rogan interviewed.
Actually, what he said, because he really likes Rachel, who doesn't, right? Everybody loves Rachel.
28 allegations, and all have been proven false. They all lied.
He said, I saw your debate with that creepy, weird little guy.
It's just like the Kavanaugh thing, right? Just like the Brett Kavanaugh thing. All those years, none of that stuff came out, and then all of a sudden he's running for political office, and then all of a sudden there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are there talking about it when none of it was ever for it, because we're waiting on what? 18 and 19
I saw your
are
debate with
definitely
that
not children.
creepy little weirdo guy. Good job. What the hell was wrong with that guy? What the hell? What the hell was wrong with him?
Andrew Wilson.
You were telling me just before we came in here that I can't believe you posted. You had seen Rachel debate that guy. Brian.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And you had watched the thrashing, which I was telling you was in the front row when that happened.
Yeah.
And that guy was just beyond upset. You know, everybody just dressing him.
Let me stop Andrew right there before we.
You know you wish you had my job. You know you wish you had it so bad.
We get to Joe Rogan. I wasn't beyond upset at all. I'm a passionate.
So I'm not
person. I don't like the Wilsons. I've been very clear and honest on that way before this debate. But I wasn't upset.
He was big mad. Okay? He was super mad. Especially when I took everybody out to dinner and wouldn't take him.
At all about anything that happened other than one thing. I received a lot of death threats after the debate. That upset me, as I think that would upset anybody, because death threats are not cool no matter who is doing it.
Yeah, disavow that too. Don't you're not doing the Crucible any favors if you ever send a death threat to opposition. You'll get banned from the channel for life if we find out about it. You will be banned forever.
That's the only thing that I was upset about. You think I give two about what the cuckables think about whether I won or lost a debate, or whether Joe Rogan, Mr. Meathead, thinks whether I won or lost a debate? I don't give a shit.
Mr. Meathead. I was gonna get your take on that. Like, what did you think after you had watched that? Did you feel bad for that guy? Or?
No.
No.
No, I never feel bad for someone.
No. He goes, no, not at all. By the way, just so you know, Joe is funny as shit. Like, behind the scenes, he's funny as shit. Super nice guy, very, very, very down to earth. Okay. So anyway, he's super mad about it, right? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch gears because he put out the little Cope video, and I want you to see his stream from today. It's the funniest. It's the funniest you've ever seen. Hang on, I'll pull it up. But yeah, Joe, he really is. He's
Miss Teen USA.
He's hilarious,
Okay.
and
Which
I
most
was
of
like, I
them
was
are
taking a
from
leak.
18
When it was
to
coming
19
out.
years old.
You're walking in the hallway.
Most of the contestants.
He had
He
some
can't
choice
prove that he was
words
in there with
for
anybody
what
under
he called
18.
aggressive
Can't prove it.
leftist debaters. He was not particularly happy with any of them.
Can't prove it.
The best part about this is he kept saying that you were debating him this week.
Because even some of the contestants came out and said, that's not true. Not true. That never happened. Never happened. He went into some of the adults, which were 18, 19-year-olds, in the backstage area where they were changing. But it's never been confirmed that he went in anywhere that was under 18. Never been confirmed. Weirdos. You fucking idiots.
All week, and then you go on Joe Rogan, LMAO. I don't know if that was a planned bit or troll maxing. No. Okay, I'll tell you the story. So Shapiro contacts me, and he's like, I'm tired of the drama. Why don't we have peace? I was like, all right, okay. If you want a truce, because Crucible hasn't been covering this guy at all.
Because
you know
there's
what I
a
mean?
difference
He's
between
not worth
backstage.
covering.
There's a difference between backstage and in dressing room. And if they did not go into the dressing room and was changing in backstage, that is not on anybody but them. You can't go into a public area and then change and expect someone to, and expect other people to just go. No, it's not the way it fucking works. He said backstage.
So I was just like, yeah, whatever, no problem. I'm paraphrasing. There was more to it than that, but not much more to it.
By the way,
So
I'm arguing with people.
There's a truce between myself and Brian Shapiro. Can you believe it? A truce. Then
never said anything about
I get contacted by a gentleman. I'm not going to tell you who he is.
I never said anything about stagehands. You said that. You brought that up, not me. Not me. I never said anything about stagehands. And if you think I did, find it and prove it. Because I didn't. No wonder I can't make it in Texas yet, because I don't live there, dumbass.
But I get contacted by a gentleman. He says, "Hey, Andrew, how you doing?" He says, "I just debated with Brian Shapiro." And I was like, "Oh, yeah? How'd that go?" He was like, "Oh, it went good." He's like, "But that guy was talking mad shit about you and your wife. Talking mad shit about you and your wife."
Look,
what?
Tammy, don't be posting all that stuff because people will think you're wrong, okay? People will call you bad names because you're posting actual information. Don't do that. That's a bad look.
So the guy broke.
Everybody here wants to hate Trump. They don't care about anything else. They just, I hate. They got the TDS so bad that they have to hate somebody. They have to hate somebody. So might as well be that guy.
The truce in like 24 hours. He broke the truce. Not very nice, Brian. Not very happy about that. Now, I didn't tell Brian that the truce was broken because, he didn't need to know that I knew that. But,
Autistic? Is that your name? When was that? When was that, by the way? I've literally done work in Miss Arizona. Okay, when was that? Because this was all supposedly taking place in the early 90s. Early 90s. Not the same as it was today.
There was going to be payback.
Again, Mud, it's your claim. Prove it. Nobody else has been able to prove that he was a PDF file yet. So you do it. Prove it.
For that. You break the truce. Payback's a bitch. Now he's scrambling all over the place, whining and crying because the mean smoky man, Joe Rogan, was mean to him on the podcast. You shouldn't have did what you done, and you shouldn't have done what you did.
They're all paid
By
for.
the way, this guy's been DMing me and saying that he's going to join Sarah's lawsuit against me. It's just all kinds of shit. He's a nutcase. The guy is a literally certified nutcase. DMs me almost every day.
Hard to prove without unredacted files. So you still have no proof? Still have no proof?
With some new rash of shit, crazy nonsense, bonkers garbage. Basically, every day this guy DMs me. Let's watch some of his stream from today because it's really funny.
People saying, "Hey, did you know that Joe Rogan was talking about you on his show?" I said, "No, I didn't." And I was thinking to myself when I had heard that, I'm like, geez, I wonder what he was talking about. Was he talking about one of my Piers Morgan appearances?
Nope.
Did his producer grab a clip from my show? I'm thinking of viral
Nope.
moments. Was he talking about my interaction with Nick Shirley?
Nope.
I had no idea, right? Because I don't watch Joe Rogan. I think maybe in like 10 years, I've watched maybe 15 minutes of his content. And the reason for that is I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's entertaining. I think he's a meathead. I don't think he's very intelligent. And I think he spreads misinformation. I've never been a Joe Rogan fan. I've never liked Joe Rogan.
DMs you every day. What the yeah, bro. This guy sends me DMs every day about me, about my wife, just every day almost. Now, it's like not every single day, but it's so close to every day, it might as well be every day.
We're not talking about the Epstein thing. We're not talking about the pedos. We're not talking about the Trump administration. We're not talking about Israel. We're talking about what we have on the screen. Any other comments like this, and I'm just going to ignore them. And I may start blocking them because, you know what? I don't care. So keep on, and we can move on to a different subject, or y'all can just go somewhere else. It's that easy. Really that easy.
I never will. And then one person texted me back when I said, well, what was he talking about? And he said, oh, well, Andrew Wilson was on his show again.
Have you tried showing Brian your spear? Ew, gross.
So then I said, oh, okay, that explains it. Brian derangement syndrome.
You got to pay for what you did. Can we get comics of the DMs?
I never said
my
I was
understanding.
That's a good idea.
Of what happened was Joe Rogan had watched my debate with Rachel Wilson. And when Rachel and Andrew never had a job in media before, Andrew's never had a job in media before. I've been working in media for like 25 years. And I'm not even saying this in a way to say, oh, well, I'm better than you. No, I'm giving context to what I do for a living, which is very different. Rachel doesn't.
Do I look like Trump? Do I look like a Democrat? Maybe. Do I look like a Republican? Do I look like someone that is in fucking Washington, D.C. or in upstate New York dealing with all those fucking people? No. Do I sound like I'm from New York? Do I sound like I'm from D.C.? No. So it has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. I don't give two flying fucks. And I will care when the evidence comes out if someone's arrested, if someone's tried. Until then, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter until it comes out. I look like an American? Well, thank you. That's kind of what I was going for.
Even have a job, I don't think. She just goats people to debate her on.
No.
Maybe lay off McDonald's on Saturdays. Oh, no, another fat joke from a fucking idiot. Oh. Who cares what you say?
She's a best-selling author, Brian. I have to buy the gun money. Okay, I have to. Have to. Hang on a second. 1 second here.
Oh, you have you 100% have the freedom of speech.
All right.
But you do not have the freedom of consequences.
The one topic she's capable of to make a sandwich. Now, under normal circumstances, that would be a very misogynist thing to say. Why did I say that? It has been a running joke for months before that debate started. I said, pretend like I'm Andrew Wilson, your husband, and make me a sandwich. Why would I say that? Because I've always called Andrew a misogynist pig. Because they don't want women to vote. They don't want women in powerful positions. Refuses to even be a friend of a woman. He doesn't respect.
Boy, he really stopped Rogan at a very unfortunate spot right there, didn't he? Because Rogan just looks like he's totally skeptical of everything Brian is saying right now.
Women. So in the context of make me a sandwich, Andrew Wilson, in my opinion, is the misogynist. But you see, somebody like Joe Rogan will call me a misogynist without having any context as to even why I said that. The whole reason why I said that, and to the whole cuckable crew, because that's what they are. They're a bunch of cultist cuckables. that say Brian's a misogynist, but if they actually looked at the context as to why I told Andrew to make a sandwich, it is in the context of making fun of her husband, who I believe is a misogynist. But of course, Joe Rogan didn't know that because he's a meathead.
Because he's a meathead. You were telling me. I was just beyond. Everybody is dressed bad for that guy.
Debate or just communicate.
I didn't go on social media saying I destroyed everybody in that debate, right? I didn't.
That's because you couldn't, because you lost your ass.
Analyze it. I didn't do AI videos. That's what they do. It's really strange. They're very insecure people. They always have to claim victory. They always have to persuade people how great they are. Rachel Wilson always has to go on social media and tell people how hot she thinks her husband is. Yeah, he's very hot.
I bet Brian wishes that some woman somewhere would go on social media to tell the world how hot he is, but there isn't one that exists.
You know, it's very odd and it's very strange. So what Joe Rogan is describing, which to me is laughable, is the person that he's talking to. Is there anybody out there that wouldn't agree with me that Andrew Wilson is an extremely insecure guy that has a tremendous ego and thinks he's far more important than he actually is? Is there anybody out there, even some of his fans probably wouldn't disagree with that statement? I don't care what his fans think about me. I think it's
even some of his fans would disagree. I don't care what his fans think.
Funny. I think the guy's obsessed with me. I think Andrew and Rachel have literally Brian derangement syndrome. The fact that Andrew couldn't help himself but bring up my name. Yes, he did say Brian. He didn't just say that guy. He said Brian. The fact that I'm on his mind 24/7. The guy's made like 4 or 5 cartoons about me. That's not normal behavior. Or the fact that Rachel Wilson blocks me on social media but continues to talk about me on social media. These people have Brian derangement syndrome.
You don't even have to make commentary.
Now, I wouldn't expect anything different from Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is a guy, in my personal opinion.
Guardian, I'm doing good. Just in here arguing with dumb liberals. That's all I'm doing. Arguing with dumb liberals.
Oh, Brian. Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't
like
need
Andrew
that
Wilson,
much,
and I think the reason why they both get along is because they're both very insecure people.
Oh, Joe Rogan's insecure too.
I don't need the viewers.
You
that
mean
bad.
the world famous comedian who just had all of Hollywood pissed off at him because he signed an $82 million Spotify deal? At least that's what they claimed. And is like in ridiculously good shape and is an MMA fighter.
You know, these dumb liberal tolerant left people come in here and go, we're the so tolerant, we're for everybody, we are accepting, you fat fuck. I mean, come on, bro. That's so tolerant. That's so tolerant and left and, you know, all that stuff. They're stupid. They're fake.
Is insecure. If only he was wearing a Brian Shapiro hat, perhaps then he would feel safer and more secure. I find it harder and harder to believe he's a real person. He really is. Man, he believes all this shit, I'm telling you. He believes all of it.
Again, Ricky.
Didn't Shapiro get cucked in Vegas by a certain vegetable recently?
They don't like facts.
I have this rant on while working on my car, and it's hilarious with the audio alone. Dude, it's so funny just by itself. You don't.
Pretty sure his furry boyfriend gave it for him. Got it for him.
Hang on. I'm getting some intel here. Okay.
Joe Rogan spends his life in the gym. Why? Because Joe Rogan is 5 feet tall. Do you notice a lot of these gym rats that are in the gym 24/7, these beefcake guys that are diesel, they're usually 5 feet tall. Why is that? Because they're trying to make up for other physical inequalities that they have. Joe Rogan's a really short guy. So, Mr. Muscle Man, Mr. UFC guy. I've never considered Joe Rogan to be a very intelligent person. Listen, there's a lot of people that I disagree with.
Joe Rogan would not just rip this guy to pieces physically, right? The guy is insanely strong. Like every time I see Joe, he comes over and we do the handshake and I go in for a bro hug and he does the full bear hug. Like, what's up, man? The dude is strong as a bear. Strong as an ox, that guy. You would not want to tangle with Joe Rogan. He would rip your ass in half. But there's another problem. He's way smarter than people give him credit for. He's a real sharp guy. And he would rip Brian to pieces verbally, intellectually, and physically. I mean, he would never waste his time with a guy like Brian Shapiro, let's be real. But if he did, it still wouldn't go well for Bryce Shap.
Oh, Bryce Shap. Oh, Bryce Shap. Joe Rogan's 5'8", by the way, so he's taller than 5 foot. They don't want to hear that beats. They don't want to hear that. Big beats, they don't want to hear that. They don't care. No one wants to hear the truth about the matter. They just want to hear their conspiracies. My conspiracy is better than your conspiracy. So I win.
I want to live in a
is what's happening behind it. I'm here to understand a political movement and not to endorse it. What follows is what I saw and who I spoke to. Draw your own conclusions. Last week, close to 60,000 migrants crossed into Ceuta in a matter of days, more than half the population of the entire exclave. At least 57 people died in the crossing. Spain deployed the military to regain control. You've probably seen the footage, the boats, the breakwater, people climbing the fence, the violence and chaos that ensued after. What you probably haven't seen is what's happening behind it. While that was unfolding, the Sanchez government pushed through a decree handing residency, work permits, and a path to citizenship to over 500,000 migrants already inside the country. EU leaders have now formally written to Madrid, warning that Spain's border has become a problem for the entire continent. Inside Spain, it's torn the country's politics apart. That's the story you've already seen on the news, but it's not the whole story. Underneath it, Spain is fighting a series of wars that almost nobody covers. Basque Country separatists and Catalan separatists against Spanish Unionists. And running alongside all of it is a second migration crisis most people outside of Spain have never even heard of. Not from Africa, but from Latin America, reshaping entire cities in ways that definitely never make the news. None of it is happening in isolation either. It's Spain's version of a fight now playing out across the entire continent. Germany, France, Great Britain, Italy, all pushing back against the same pressures in their own way. Welcome to the third edition of Rattlesnake TV's reality-based series. This time I travelled to Madrid to try and understand something that's been building across Spain for years now. The rise of nationalist groups, why it's happening, what these people actually believe, and what kind of Spain they are trying to build. The whole point of this series is to get past the clips. You've probably seen the 10-second version of these moments, the chants, the flags, the headlines, the viral videos. What I'm trying to do is figure out what's actually driving this on the ground. How deep does it run, and is this a real political force, or just noise that travels well online? This video goes into all of it. A group that went viral holding a White Lives Matter banner, an organiser chased out of the Basque Country by hundreds of Antifa militants, and a march in France for a murdered teenager that pulled in patriots from across the entire continent. And I'll be honest, I went into this expecting mostly the online version of these movements. Angry young patriots trying to push back. But what I actually found was a lot more complex than that, and it took me the whole trip to properly get my head around it. My first stop was the headquarters of a group called Nucleo Nacional. They went viral a few months ago after releasing a video with a banner reading "White Lives Matter." A message of solidarity, they said, with other nationalist movements across Europe pushing back against mass immigration and its effects. This was at a time when the Henry Novak case was at its peak online, and since they've been making more content and continue to go viral. So I went and did some digging. I got in touch with the group and they offered to show me around their clubhouse in Madrid. Here's what I found. So I'm on the outskirts of Madrid. We're here to visit the guys from nationalist movement called Nucleo Nacional. Now, there's a lot of press about these guys. We're going to let them explain for themselves what they're all about. We're here to check out their clubhouse, headquarters, speak to one of their leaders, and basically just find out what's going on. So, should be really interesting, to be honest with you. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. I saw these guys go viral on X a few weeks ago, and I thought that I'd contact them and just see if I could come check out the clubhouse, and they said yes. So, going to be interesting. Let's check it out.
Well, it's a little bit now busy. So today we have a conference. It's about a book. I think it was like a dissection of Lenin's thoughts economically, I think, or something like that. And we have it, and it's basically to teach our militants, teach our people how to refute Marxism. If we should have
I thought for a moment you were saying that you were teaching them Leninism in a good
No. We're teaching what the book says and we're debunking it.
Okay.
So if we were to have a conversation with a Marxist, a Leninist or whoever, we have the ability to debunk the Leninist and the Marxist thoughts.
And so that's the focus of today's thing. Right.
Over here we've got the library, and it's basically a place where people can come and study their own stuff. Imagine university or whatever, they can come read one of our books.
So this is Amor Fati, the love of fate. Stoic.
We have also one of a national revolutionary, identitarian and social. And over there we've got a collection of all the French active clubs with the coat of arms and everything.
You seem like an intellect, like a little bit of an intellectual.
Yeah, more
you
on the intellectual side,
like the Trotsky of the group.
The second most important part, I would say, of the clubhouse is the gym, and it basically encompasses almost half of the whole clubhouse. And we've got over there two bogs. We've got over there also machines over here. We've got to lift weights, lift iron, and I think it's also quite an important part of being a nationalist that we need to be physically formed and we have to be mentally formed. So we need to know how to debunk a Marxist and a socialist, both mentally and physically, if the conditions were up for it.
Yes, I think I see a lot of the guys that you've got here. They don't want to be filmed, which is fair enough. But a lot of them look like strong guys.
Yeah.
Which is, I also think that it's important, no matter what you do, really. Like no matter what your idea is, that you don't want to, be physically weak. All right, so Juan, how did you get involved with Nucleo Nacional?
So I got involved quite early on. Basically, I went to the first meeting they did. It was April 2024. I'd been in politics earlier, but on the more conservative side. So I started with Vox, but then saw that nationalism was actually the only way forward. And it couldn't be civic nationalism, it had to be ethnic nationalism. So we need to preserve our people, not through customs, just through customs or just through a paper that means nothing at this moment. But we have to look at it from the lens of who are we? Who is our people? Who are we? So if we look at that frame, that's the frame we look at it from. We can dissect and we can say that, okay, this person is Spanish, this person isn't, this person is European, this person isn't. And from then on, we can work towards the future, because Spain wouldn't be Spain if we had 30 million Latin Americans over here. Spain would be Spain only if we've got Spanish people. As a last resort, Europeans.
And so what is the recruitment pipeline? How does somebody go from a young person who's maybe online watching right-wing content to eventually becoming a part of Nucleo Nacional?
Well, I started getting interested in politics quite early on when I was like 12 or 13. I started like conservative, liberal, libertarian. I started riding the Malay wave. So I started as a libertarian. But then I started shifting focus and saying, okay, maybe the market isn't the most important thing. Maybe the free market isn't. And I started going a bit more, we could say authoritarian, more conservative in general terms. And I went to Vox, and then I just started drifting more ethnic nationalist. And before Nucleo Nacional was formed, I went into another party over here. I started my militant life, and then as I saw this was formed, it was April 2024. I went to the first meeting. I liked it. I liked the people. I liked the project, and I got involved. And it's a bit over 2 years now.
And so, who are your favourite philosophers?
So my favorite philosophers, I would say, I would have, maybe not philosophers, but modern thinkers. I'd go with Martin Sellner. I think the synthesis of modern identitarianism can only be driven from a 21st century perspective, not a 20th century one. So we can...
It's interesting that you say that, because I notice that you guys have a lot of throwbacks, and I understand that history is important, but sometimes I do question whether... Would you guys call yourself neo-Nazis?
No.
No?
Neo-Nazi is a term... First of all, Nazi is a term that was made up in America.
Yeah.
The only correct abbreviation for National Socialist made in Germany is Nazi Sozi. I think it was said by Goebbels. So that would be the only correct abbreviation term. But we wouldn't even consider ourselves, like, as an organization, National Socialist, because not everyone here is National Socialist. The same way not everyone is identitarian, the same way not everyone is fascist. We apply basically a name that's radical nationalism that can encompass every single political theory that can get done here. And you've seen a lot of throwbacks, that's for sure, that's of course. But it is because we have to remember, and because those people said the correct things at that time. And that was a mind, a synthesis from the 20th century to the 21st. But after COVID, mostly after COVID, we have to look at from a 21st century perspective into the 22nd century. So that's why we should get just with European nationalism, European unity. Right. That's we have to get racial unity. We have to get out of the petty nationalistic, imagine Spain against France or Spain against England. It makes no sense now.
This is something that I've noticed that you guys do a lot, is like there's a pan-Europeanism within your thought. Now, I've noticed that you will call to the Irish nationalists, to the English, to the French nationalists and say, look, we're all European. We're all nations, but we're all European at the same time, and we all share that sort of common lineage. And it's an interesting one because I have noticed that you guys are doing the... salutes, like the Roman salutes, and that's why I thought that you guys were actually sort of like neo-Nazis, but it seems as though you have a more interesting philosophy, and I actually think that it's more effective because the modern world has modern problems, and sometimes if you look back at old philosophies, it can be a little bit dead in terms of the way you can apply those old philosophies to the modern world.
I mean, the Roman salute was actually the Iberian salute. It was firstly recorded in Iberia, so here in Spain, but it is just a salute. It's a meaning, it's a symbol, it has its meaning, and it's just a salute. The same way we can do it, the same way an Italian can do it, or a German. Well, a German can't at this moment, but it is the first symbol of European unity there is, the Roman salute.
Who do you find to be the most inspiring when it comes to American cultural and political commentators?
It'd have to be, of course, Nick.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. On politics, it would be someone like James Fishback or Casey Poocher, basically the real America First candidates against the Trump establishment, because Trump is the establishment at the moment, the GOP. And also people like Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So basically the right-wing populists, the right-wing anti-establishment people that are really fighting for the people and the nation.
Right, okay. And so what about in terms of political violence? Are you guys against or not necessarily against political violence and trouble in the street when it comes to protests and clashes between different ideologies?
Well, if it's not necessary, we of course we don't participate, we don't partake in unless they come to us. So we're not pacifists, we're pacific. We do not want to engage in political violence as a starter, but if people want to engage in political violence with us and engage in political violence with us, we have to defend ourselves. So we basically believe in self-defense.
Last question. How important is Christianity to Nucleo Nacional?
Well, we of course defend and uphold Christian values. As you can see in our logo, we've got a cross in our logo. But as long as they respect Christianity and the Christian values of Spain and the Christian history we have of the Reconquista, of basically that's been our religion for the past 2,000 years. If someone is pagan, of course, a Muslim cannot get in. Of course, maybe a Buddhist or a Hinduist or a Jewish person cannot get in. We uphold, as Patriot Front basically says, I think they're very good and very neat in that. Traditional European faiths that are respectful to Christianity in a personal sense, and Christians, it is not that hard to be. It's basically a European network, a European group with European people that have European beliefs.
And the European ethos ultimately stems from the Christian worldview and the Christian ethos. So
Yes.
it's an important thing,
Yeah.
I think. And there's lots of different things. Like, it's interesting how you said that the Nuclear National kind of has an ideology that's adaptable for the modern world.
Yeah.
I think underlying that, there's going to be Christianity that everyone can at least respect and identify with.
Of course, I mean, but also the thing is that before being Christian, we were not Christian, we were pagan, but we were European pagan. That is the difference. So we were not a shamanist from Africa or from Mexico, where they basically brought someone up a pyramid and took their hearts out. We were European pagans and Christians, and both have been important for each other.
Yeah.
So European paganism has influenced Christianity very clearly. We can see basically the Crusades. The Crusades were basically that old pagan warrior culture into Christianity. That's why modern Christianity feels weak, feels not Christian at all. That's why you see we can criticize the Pope. We can, I remember like some days ago, they took out the SSPX from the Catholic Church. Well, that is a sign of weak Catholicism, of being non-European Catholicism, because a pure European Catholic would have never done that. A pure European Catholic ethos, Pope, and Church would be more like the SSPX. Same way a real Protestant church would not be like these Protestant churches that hang White Lives Matter and pride flags. So we need to acknowledge that apart from being Christian, we have a Christianity that is pagan influenced. So it's Christianity influenced by European paganism.
Right. What would you say is the utility of European paganism?
Well, we have to look at its utility not from its beliefs, but from what it has caused. So the Vikings were European pagans. Both the Romans and the Germanics at Teutoburg Forest were pagans. The Greek, Athenians, and Spartans were pagans. The Romans, as I said, were pagans. The Spanish Celtiberians that resisted a 2-year siege at Numancia were pagans. That is the thing. We need to adapt that warrior culture, and that's what we're doing here. Like, if you see any more nationalist movement in Europe and in the European diaspora, which is basically the US, Canada, white South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, it has that Christianity. It is the Christian cross, the Christian sacrifice mind of sacrificing for others, mixed with that warrior culture paganism gives.
That's really interesting. That kind of makes sense to me when I think about especially what you guys are doing here in the ethos. And then I think a lot of people look at Christianity these days and they maybe feel like it's a bit pacifist and that that's not necessarily going to provide the grit and the fight that we need. So no, I can intellectually understand what you're saying. Well, man, I think that pretty much sums it up. It's all the information. I'm going tomorrow with another guy who's going to take me around, I think, the center of Madrid and everything, and take me and see.
Good luck, my friend. Good luck. You're going to need it.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're going to need it, yeah.
Now, you'll notice that video was rather short, but there is a much longer, extended, uncut, unfiltered version on my website that is definitely not safe for YouTube. We got into some pretty dicey territory with these conversations. And if I posted this on YouTube, I would get instantly demonetized. I mean, my last video from Madrid, the Pride Parade, YouTube completely blocked it, so that is totally on my website. So for the full Clubhouse tour and the complete uncut interviews, you'd have to go to rattlesnaketv.com and become a member. Along with this, you can access all of our exclusive content, many interviews, all of the extended, uncut, reality-based videos, early access to future reality-based videos. We've got lots of comedy skits on there, and also a full-length documentary where I interviewed the last remaining survivors of the killing fields in Cambodia. I want to say thank you to everybody who has already signed up, because that is the only way that I can even consider making more content like this in the future. So if you support what I'm doing here, head to rattlesnaketv.com and become a member today. So one thing that stood out to me from this interview was that these guys, as well as several other people who I'd spoken to, spoke about blending the Christian heritage with the pre-Christian pagan heritage, not necessarily replacing one with the other, but sort of fusing the two. Their reasoning was that pagans were warriors, and that's the quality that they think that modern Christian societies have lost. Now, it struck me as a strange argument on its face. Christian societies obviously have their own long history of holding and defending territory, but the read I keep hearing from this group and elsewhere is that secularism has softened Western societies to the point where a lot of young men in particular don't feel like their own tradition has room for that warrior instinct anymore. So they're reaching further and further back into history to try and find this. Now, I may not agree with this, but I do understand where it's coming from. It's not hard to see why young men today might look at that archetype, the adventurer, the warrior, the pagan Viking, and start romanticizing those virtues, especially set against a modern world that can feel to them vapid and drowning in performative wokeness and feminist conditioning. And the other thing I found here, and I want to flag this because this is not a one-off, this is something that I have basically found in every single one of these movements that I have been interviewing, is a total rejection of economics as a way to organize and orient a modern nationalist movement. Instead, identity. Now, my own read on this is that it's a reaction to a generation being told that their civilization is something to apologize for, and a reaction to a political culture that's measured almost everything in GDP and consumption for decades. A lot of young people are looking at that trade, a culturally homogenous, single-income household economy their parents or grandparents' generation got to enjoy, followed by open labor markets to plug the gap left by falling birth rates, and they're not interested in inheriting the second half of that deal without a say in it. And it's also worth mentioning that this isn't just some nebulous feeling. Youth unemployment in Spain is still sitting above 23%, more than double the wider EU rate. The average rent now eats up close to half of a young Spaniard's salary nationally, and in Madrid itself, it's closer to 70%. 3 out of 4 Spaniards under 35 are still living with their parents. Now, when the economic situation for young people is that bleak, all of a sudden it's not so surprising as to why these people are looking for meaning in other places than spreadsheets. And now, whether or not you agree with that politically, it's definitely worth taking seriously as a why. Young people are not necessarily organizing around tax policies and around GDP anymore. They're organizing around very different questions. Who am I and who are we? So from there I met Pablo Gasca. Pablo is a Spanish nationalist organizer, best known as a leading figure in Revuelta, a youth patriotic movement. He came to prominence during the protest against the Spanish government's amnesty for Catalan separatists, and he's built a following advocating for Spanish national unity, opposition to separatism, stricter immigration policy, and a return to what he calls traditional national values. To his supporters, he's one of the loudest voices of a new generation of Spanish patriots. It is interesting though, because I actually didn't even, I've been looking into a little bit of what's going on in Spain, and I think the Catalonian sort of troubles that you guys are having with the separatists are quite interesting as well. But a lot of people wouldn't really know much about the fact that you guys have so much Latin American immigration over here. And it's kind of like the French with the Algerians, because all of the people from the colonies, from the French colonies, will come over to France, and then it will affect the demographics of the country. So if you had to summarize it, what would you say is the biggest problems that having a lot of Latin American, you were saying to me before that 1 out of 6 people in Madrid are Latin American.
Yeah.
So what are the main issues with having almost 20% of people from Latin America coming to Spain?
Yeah, I don't like to talk much of economics, but I think it's one thing that affects most the Spanish is that people with a lot of money from the communist regimes are buying the city centers of Madrid, for example. So at the end, they're making Spanish people living the city center because we cannot pay the costs of that life. That's the first part, let's say, with the rich people. And with the poor people, as I said before, they're bringing they're decreasing the salaries, so a Spanish worker cannot compete with their job. I mean, if there's a guy from Ecuador that is painting your house for €2 the hour, if you're a guy from Spain, you cannot compete. If you can, if you want to be a slave, Also, there's some cultural problems. Not that much, but there's a big difference. I mean, they practice evangelic religion. They're not real Catholics. I mean, that's completely true. Also, they don't mix up with Spanish. That's also true. We're going to see in 10 minutes when we go to a random neighborhood here in Spain, and you're going to walk around, and you're not going to see a Spanish guy talking with a guy from Hispanic countries. They don't even get along between each other. I mean, a guy from Venezuela maybe hates a guy from, I don't know, Bolivia, and so on. They build their own communities in which they don't feel attached to the land. So at the end, it's quite sad and quite poor for our identity for sure.
And would you say that because, how would you describe Pedro Sanchez politically? What is his political ideology?
Well, I would say he's a globalist for sure. And also I believe some people, they say, hey, he's communist or fully socialist. At the end, I think he built a system of capitalism for his friends. I mean, I guess like most of the states, you know, when he started the Socialist Party, for who doesn't know it, they call themselves socialists, but they privatized everything in Spain, you know. They made always the business for their friends. In this case, I think they have social measures, but the thing is that their social measures are only for immigrants. I mean, if you're Spanish with problems, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't care about paying taxes, to be honest. But if if the taxes go to wealthier Spaniards, but if, for example, I want some type of aid for my rental, and the list is like, oh, the poorer you are, the better you are to get the aid. But the poorest people are always immigrants. So at the end, he's not helping me. I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
No, that makes sense. It's the same sort of in Ireland as well, that all these immigrants living in hotels, these beautiful hotels, and then the Irish people are on the street. So it's a similar thing. Do you notice much of a swing towards Marxism and communism? Because you were saying before that obviously Latin American countries have big problems with Marxism over there. They have lots of Marxist influence, and then the people who come over here might bring some of those ideologies.
Yeah, I would say that in economical terms for sure, but it's true that we also have to we nationalists have to focus also in individualism, hedonism, and all this type of things. For example, I'm gonna give maybe a concrete example. People say, for example, hey, the guys from Morocco are here to import Islam, or wherever overall in Spain. But at the end, I just feel that there are people that want to live like us, but they don't manage, they bring crime. Because, for example, there's like a lot of youngsters, this is a normal thing that also people doesn't know. The government of Morocco has in the north of Africa territorial claims over Spain, Ceuta and Melilla. They're not in the treaty of the NATO, so they're not going to be protected. In fact, Donald Trump today, just to give you an example, said that because Pedro Sanchez was doing this type of politics, we in Spain would lose some land as we lost Cuba and the Philippines that were Spanish, you know? Right. And the thing is that, why did he say it? That because Morocco is his preferential ally. So what does the King of Morocco do? When he sees that Spain is defending himself, he opens the border and he tries like a lot. He brings like a lot of Moroccans that are criminals, or he empties the jails, or underage people that come here and have no family. I mean, he brings all this type of shit, to talk clear, you know. Right. What's the problem? That they don't bring Islam. They just bring poverty, crime, and they want to live as us. They hate us because they don't manage, you know. Yeah. So it's true. What I want to say with this is that they bring some ideologies, but I think they bring the worst of each ideology, you know. Right. The worst part of liberalism, the worst part of Marxism, the worst part of everything, you know. It's like they manage to glue everything together to do it in the worst way possible, 100%.
So it's worth pausing here and noting that we're not lumping everybody from this video into the same bucket. That would actually miss the mark entirely. Nucleo Nacional is a group that has built itself mostly online through viral clips, etc. Pablo is a different entity. Revuelta broke away from Vox, Spain's mainstream nationalist party, and operates inside actual politics. Protests, media, organizing. It's the same broader instinct, but a completely different route has been taken. Keep this distinction in mind because these groups don't always see eye to eye on everything. So next, Pablo would take me through something that you don't really see or hear about much outside of Spain, and this is the scale of migration from Latin America. Now, it's a different story to the clips that you might see on X or on the news, and a lot of people outside the country don't realize just how big an issue this has become for ordinary Spaniards. In order to get my head around what this truly looks like, we headed to a neighborhood called Oporto, which is in the Carabanchel district, one of Madrid's classic working class areas, historically settled by internal Spanish migrants from poorer, rural areas of the country like Extremadura and Andalusia during the mid-20th century industrial boom. But in recent years, Oporto has had a very different transformation, driven by mass Latin American migration and supercharged by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, whose government launched a regularization scheme meant for 500,000 migrants, but ended up drawing over 1.2 million applicants, 67% from Latin America. And neighborhoods like Oporto are bearing the brunt of it. You can kind of tell that it's a Latin American place by the body shapes of the mannequins. Like, and this, you have like the Latin American mamacitas.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can tell they're not Spanish. Don't doubt. Yeah. They're not Spanish.
Yeah, 100%. It's a different aesthetic, you know?
Yeah.
So tell me about the neighborhood that we're in at the moment.
Well, actually, we're like in a working class neighborhood, a working class from 2000s, where like a lot of Spaniards bought their house. put all their money and their investment to build their own house or buy their own house. But what happened that in 25 years, with the massive giving of papers and nationality from Pedro Sanchez and socialist government, it's already full of people from Venezuela, Honduras, Ecuador, Bolivia. I mean, we are going to walk around and you're not going to see any Spanish. Look, if you can just point over there, all the people that are crossing the road, there's no Spanish.
Right.
No Spanish. Not at all. They don't exist anymore.
So you just can tell, because for people who aren't Spanish, they are not European, they might not be able to tell as easily that people aren't from here, but you can tell straight away, obviously.
No, 100%. I mean, there are like a lot of physical differences. Also, we could say cultural differences, and also, I don't know, maybe intellectual also.
Yeah.
As you can see, this is a park where normally they gather, but now actually it's quite early. They gather and they play their games and they do their type of stuff, you know?
Right.
So I think that guy's dead.
Yeah, I know that guy's really
maybe
struggling. Is it just like the demographics and everything is the big problem, and people who are coming into these neighborhoods, like typically in the past when it was more Spanish, it was like the business was thriving more, but now it's not the same?
100%. I mean, they even have their own way of wasting the money. I mean, normally a Spanish guy goes to normal places, but here it's all places to dance, to buy alcohol, to bet for football. I mean, you can see that even the culture of the neighborhood developed in a wrong way. I mean, they don't go to a normal shop and buy normal stuff. I mean, they're dancing whatever shit, and they're paying alcohol. They're getting drunk. They pee in the streets. Look, this is a normal park, you would say. But you can feel that it's full of shit. Look, they're drinking some alcohol in the street. There are like a lot of this weird birds.
Yeah,
everything is like a mess.
Yeah, a lot of the time you get that with the badly hit immigration spots in Europe. It's like you go to the nice parks, and the nice parks are full of alcohol and full of rubbish, and full of people just sort of sitting around.
Yeah, that even the problem here is like you see this and you don't say, oh, it's a criminal spot. The problem is that we already normalized that this is a normal spot. It's not a normal spot. I mean, if you go to the city center of Madrid, where still Spanish people live, you wouldn't see the shit around. I mean, you would watch it clean. You wouldn't see beers. You wouldn't see all this weird stuff. You know, those graffitis. Everything develops in a very wrong way, for sure.
So, I mean, so many people obviously moving here. What do you think is the main reason that people from Latin America will move to Spain?
I think they normally say economical matters, but also in economical matters, Spain is a shit. I mean, I have to be honest. They come here, they get a low salary, they have to share the room with 10 of the guys, no? And they don't even know in the same house. So at the end, I think they come here from some weird or sort of marketing idea, also for a security concept, because they normally say, no, my country is quite insecure and so on. And they came to Spain, and I said before, they bring the same problems because they get drunk, they do weird stuff with women, they have like weird relationships between them. I mean, it's normal in Spain that you hear someone yelling, and it's a guy from South America maybe hitting his wife or something like that. Yeah. Things that normally in Spain or between European people don't happen. Yeah. It's funny because the progressist government is like, there's like a lot of gender violence actually. And it's like, yeah, but who provokes it? I mean, it's not Ramon from Spain with his wife. Yeah. It's always some weird guy or a darker guy in this case. Yeah.
And so what about the welfare? Is there a lot of welfare for these immigrants?
100%, yeah. If you check the studies, for example, I don't know, if you want to rent a house and you don't have money and you get some special aids, you go to the percentage of people that are earning this type of aids, and they're majority immigrants. I mean, it's even ridiculous, even funny if it wouldn't be that they're stealing from you, you know? Because they also say one thing that is a thing that progressists likes to say, that is like, they come to work. For example, I imagine a guy from Bolivia that comes here to work, he's even working, I don't care, okay? But he has 50 years of his life to work, because in Spain you have to retire at 67. In 50 years, he's not even going to contribute for all the social care he's taken. Medicals, his sons to the school, hospitals. I don't like to talk in material terms because I prefer identity terms. But even in economical terms, for people that defend that they should be here, they're stealing your welfare, 100%.
Yeah. And Moises, you live in this neighborhood.
Yes.
Why do you live here?
I live here. Like my family, my mother and my father moved from my town. My town is in Avila, other like a city in Spain, and they moved here to find a work and make the life, you know.
Okay. So this used to be a working class Spanish neighborhood where it was a bit more like, you know, there was like a real culture here.
That's for example.
Right. So what is this place?
That place is like the immigrants' lowers to to fix your documents and for like get the Spanish nationality.
Okay.
They're like they're getting pretty famous, as I told you before, because they're giving like a lot of papers to people.
You
So
can
there's like
sorry.
there's like a lot of lawyers that are made only. They started their business only to make people legal, and in 2 years they're gonna disappear because they already brought 3 million. They give them the papers, they help them. They even ask for money for their own nationals. I mean, normally this business are also built by people from their own country. So they ask their money, they take their money, and they give them the Spanish papers. You know, it's at the end a transaction.
So this is it, Abregados Interageria. What does that mean?
Immigrant lawyer. Specialized in immigration. And there, for example, you can see all the flags of all the nations because it's also a special point to buy their products.
And the other is for send money like other countries from South America.
Right, so this place has like, it's like a money exchange.
Yeah, for example, you get your salary in Spain and you send that salary like your family in Colombia. Or
Really? So that's
Venezuela.
what that place does? That's just money leaving the Spanish economy?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess it's the day they get the payroll, they come here, they make a line, they take 50% or 60% of their money to their nation, they're building a house there, they're bringing their nations being richer, but ours being poor.
Today in the morning, the neighbor her told me our table is still.
So someone stole the table?
Yeah. you can check, like, we have a sofa and we don't have a table.
Why did they steal the table?
I don't know.
Because they need a new table.
I don't know, it's really like normal table, no gold, no silver.
Maybe Moses should sit because tomorrow maybe the couch is not there.
That's crazy. So how long have you lived here for?
All my life.
All your life. So your parents, this is where your parents lived as well?
Yeah. For example, today talking with the neighbor, he told me like only because he had to say like my mother, oh, someone steal our table, and she say like, oh, only I can say you or other neighbor, but I can't talk with anymore because I don't know them.
Right. Okay. So you can't talk to your neighbors.
¿Y aquí? No, pero estoy con gente, lo que te cierran la puerta. Okay, I'll take my...
This is your room?
Yeah, this is my room. A small room.
Where's your bed?
Here.
That's very cool. It's
yeah.
It comes out.
Your brother's room is better, no?
I think so.
Yeah. He has better stairs. ¿Qué tal estás, tío? ¿Qué tal estás?
Hola.
Tienes pegatas más guapas que tu hermano, ¿eh? Que tienes las pegatas de grimy. Olor para el macho. Es que esto está...
Oye, ¿está por ahí la perra o qué?
Sí, aquí está un pata.
We have an Australian dog.
Oh, yeah. Dog. Hello.
He is Australian dog.
He's coming to say hello.
Hello, Tina. Tina.
You say, g'day, mate.
It's like Tina Turner.
G'day, mate. Yes.
Are you sure he's a patriot? There's something weird in this room.
The truth comes out. Eh?
That's why he didn't want us up.
You like to read, Moses?
Yeah, I like to read. So I think if we make a policy or we make like activists, we have to be ready to exchange opinions and ideas with the enemy.
What's your favorite books here?
I really like, for example, this book. This is a novel about the Spanish soldier fighting with Soviet communists, and that's really good.
Have you ever read For Whom the Bells Toll, Ernest Hemingway?
¿Hemingway te gusta o no?
¿Quién?
Ernest Hemingway, si te has leído un libro de...
I never read him.
He only reads weird stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I never...
And is this your girlfriend?
Yeah. I meet with her in Australia.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Amazing. And why has she not come to Spain with you?
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Because she says that she doesn't want to live in a neighborhood of non-Spanish.
Yeah,
so she's waiting Moses to move out.
Okay. What's your girl's name?
Soun. She's from South Korea.
South Korea, nice.
He was military, Moses.
Yeah, I was in army, in the
really?
Spanish army.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's cool. So you've got the Spanish army hats here.
Yeah, that's Spanish army.
I guess this is his badge.
Yeah, it's my sticker.
Wow. Okay.
Martin, this is my surname.
And then you got some bullets here.
This is like other Spanish flag, for example.
Okay, cool.
In all times, I come here to play football with the school, but now so crazy. The people.
If you can see, they're putting their clothing there is like an illegal asylum. Main problem is fascism.
So this is a communist sign. It says the main problem is
This
fascism.
is a brand of.
Yeah, the main problem is fascism, not that you have illegal immigrants living inside a place where Spanish people should play football. You know, that's their enemy. Fascism. Fascism is everywhere.
Right. They always say that the real problem is the far right.
Yeah. Okay. The football team from the neighborhood with all the children played and so on, played the football matches. And now it's completely destroyed or used for other purposes that are not quite legal.
And it's all. So you think that these people all jumped the fence?
To be honest, I'm not sure how they. You see, they enter from the other gate.
You can see here that there was a woman putting the clothes there.
Yeah.
They built their own fortress. I mean, they come not respecting our borders, but they come to Spain and they build their own border. I mean, a Spanish guy cannot get inside their castle.
Yeah, I know.
Stupid as fuck, no? It doesn't make sense, no? They're living there. They're practically living.
Yeah.
That's so weird that we can't get in though. How do they get in?
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. Maybe they
We have to use some Spanish athleticism and acrobatics to get in.
¿Se puede acceder o no? No. Era el campo de fútbol donde jugaba de pequeño en el barrio y no sabía si quedaba algo del campo de fútbol, ¿no?
So what did he say there?
No, he said that before children from the neighborhood played football inside, but there are some people that came from another country that got inside and they told us, don't jump the fence because I'm Pacific, but if someone from
What do you
outside,
mean? What do you mean Pacific?
Pacific, that he doesn't use the violence. He's
Passive, yeah.
passive, sorry. That he's from a multicultural association and so on, he said, and that they came inside and if you get inside, you don't come out. That's literally what he said in Spanish.
Right, so where's he from?
Well, I don't know the country, but he has some multicultural association. I guess he also works to bring more people here and feel comfortable and build their own community, you know. In some way, he said he doesn't have a problem with them, but it's better not to get inside. That means that he doesn't have a problem with people being inside.
So what do you mean by they won't come out alive? You mean that they'll do violence against...
They'll do something about it, and he said that they control the keys, they control the access, and if you get inside, they're going to run for you or so, and if you have luck enough to jump the fence before they come, it's better for you, and if not, it's your problem.
So they are not from Spain, and they're using something that is like a public area that used to be where people played football, and now they're saying that Spanish people can't come inside or else there will be violence.
Yeah, and if you can see, he said that he doesn't have any problem with them inside, but he's not leaving. He's with his car. He's checking. He's checking if we want to get inside to tell us not to do it or to call the guys inside. I mean, he's controlling the place. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, right. So he's like eyes and ears around here.
I guess so.
Do you think there's maybe some bad stuff going on in there?
100%. I mean, if nobody can get inside, I didn't see any police car around, you know. You can see that they build a castle. You don't build a castle if there's nothing inside that you want to protect, no?
It's really... Because, yeah, when he came and he didn't want to be filmed and he just showed up and started talking...
Sí, lo apretamos. Gracias por el aviso, Muchas gracias.
Yo no lo sabía, la verdad, y llevo viendo
What's he
aquí...
saying?
No, he said that in any case it's a problem with the government, so on.
So, yeah, it's interesting that when we started wanting to go inside, all of a sudden somebody shows up. Out of nowhere, somebody comes in, somebody comes out.
No, it was 30 seconds. I mean,
30 seconds.
We saw there was a problem. We didn't even know what was going inside. We were like, what is going inside? And in 30 seconds, he appeared, you know? I don't know what the hell he's doing, but look, he has access. God knows what.
Now he's going inside. He has access. He has the keys.
Yeah. So we cannot get inside, but he can. It's
Crazy.
quite curious what is going on in Spain.
Yeah, all right.
¿Y hace cuántos años?
So this is where you used to play football?
Hace a lo mejor como 10 años, yeah. Like 2 years ago, you could find like two like
¿Él?
Métete a Golazo Latino, es un centro multicultural.
Vale.
Entonces, ¿cómo era antes todo?
Vale, vale. Y por ejemplo, pero ¿ahora se puede acceder o no? Ah, vale, vale, vale.
What's he saying?
He says that if we want multicultural information, he gave me an association of a website, and I told him, hey, as you open, can we get inside? And he said, better not.
So he's opening it up for us, right, like that. And then he's just told us if we go in that we might not come out alive.
100%.
So he's like baiting us to try and go in there and see what happens.
That's what just happened, yeah.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, I guess we better not go inside.
Yeah, no. I mean, we have to go to the gay march alive.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy to me. That seemed like a mafia to me.
100%, yeah. And
because we walk around, we look at the gate, and then within 30 seconds, somebody's there telling us, if you go in, you don't come out alive. They open the gates, and then they say you can't come in.
And he said, it's a government problem. Call the government. She's laughing at your face. He's saying, hey, go call someone. Let's see if he appears. I mean, he has the balls to disify the whole state.
And where's he from, do you think?
I don't know that guy from.
I think from Colombia, maybe.
From Colombia, maybe, yeah. God knows.
That seems like a protected space.
Yeah, but as you said, he's the owner, he said, of a multicultural association. So for sure, he gets public money also.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Or Progress's money.
So you take your watch off to climb the fence, or take your watch off so it doesn't get stolen? So, watching this up close, it was hard not to notice how much this looked like organised crime dressed up as humanitarian work. Money moving out of Spanish taxpayers' pockets into what has effectively become an entire industry built around importing and giving benefits to migrants. It starts with getting people through the door and onto the books, paperwork, residency applications, and eventually a path toward a Spanish passport. Each step run through NGOs and multicultural associations that are set up specifically to funnel state and EU grant money into that pipeline. Every migrant processed this way is effectively a line item. More people through the system means more funding for the organizations managing them. So there's a direct financial incentive to keep the numbers moving upward, regardless of whether the country can actually absorb them. Now, I'll say this plainly. I couldn't actually independently verify the money trail myself. And people on the other side of this argument might say that organized crime is doing more rhetorical work than the facts would suggest. Now, I'm laying out what it looked like from where I was standing, but I mean, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. Immigration isn't the only fault line here. Underneath it is a second, older conflict, a fight over whether Spain is even one country. On one side, people like Pablo who believe in a unified Spain, and on the other side, separatist movements who don't identify as Spanish at all, most visibly in Catalonia, but also in the Basque Country. Everyone has pretty much heard of the Catalonian independence movement. Fewer people outside Spain know how far things go in the Basque Country. Decades of terrorist attacks carried out by armed separatist groups from the north in a conflict that's never really been resolved, just pushed underground. But to understand why the Basque nationalists think the way that they do, you have to understand the way that they view history. In their telling, Euskara, a language that predates the Indo-European languages everyone else on the continent speaks, proves they're a distinct people, not just another Spanish region. Franco tried to erase that, banning the Basque language, stripping local autonomy from these provinces that resisted him, and meeting Basque nationalists with mass arrests and executions. ETA grew directly out of that repression in 1959, and over the next 5 decades killed somewhere between 800 and 950 people. Because the dominant model for small nations fighting bigger states in the 1960s was Marxist national liberation movements, Algeria, Cuba, that's the framework that ETA adopted, fusing separatism with hard left politics from the start. Basque nationalists and Spanish communists were fighting the same regime, which only deepened the alliance. That fusion is still the dominant strand of Basque nationalism today. Now, ETA disbanded in 2018, but the belief underneath it didn't. That the Basques are a distinct people absorbed into Spain rather than born into it. And self-determination is still unfinished business. That is their reading of history. Even during the recent World Cup final that Spain won, footage went viral of Spanish fans in the Basque Country being confronted, and in some cases attacked, simply for watching the match in Spanish colours, by separatists staging counter-protests, even including attacking military servicemen who were just sitting there watching the game. And all of this sits inside an even bigger controversy that's going on at the moment, which is a deeply controversial decision by the Pedro Sanchez government to give amnesty to a string of people convicted of Basque terrorist attacks and to release them from prison, with the people in that region openly campaigning for their release, framing them as anti-fascist heroes.
So you were just showing me this viral social media post, and it's like this guy has a Spanish flag because of the football.
Yeah.
And then by the morning, it's like it's been destroyed.
Yeah, that's it. He has like the Spanish flag in the balcony because it's the selection is the football match is happening and going on. But I don't know if you know, guys, that in the Basque Country you cannot hold the Spanish flag. I don't know if you know that there was a terrorist group that was operating until 2010. I think they put the last bomb in Burgos, the city. They tried to kill over 200 families just because they didn't want to be part of Spain. So it's you get in a problem if you go around some cities of the Basque Country and you carry a Spanish flag for sure.
So you take your Spanish flag off your car?
100%. You can see I have a Spanish flag here.
Yeah.
And every time I go to the Basque Country, I take it off. Not because I coward. I mean, I have my Spanish flag in my shirts or my nationalist things. It's just because I don't want to find my car destroyed. I had to pay a new car because some psychos just destroyed it because I'm Spanish or I feel Spanish.
Wow.
Because they're also Spanish.
Because they're separatists. This is like the Catalonians.
Catalonians and Basque Country. The difference is that the Basque Country developed a terrorist gang in which they bombed and killed over 800 Spanish. In fact, the Pedro Sanchez government is letting them free with amnesties and so on and privilege in jail. In this month, there was 2 famous mass killers of Spaniards that are getting free from jail.
So how did this separatist movement form? And this is in the Basque Country, so San Sebastian, and this is different to the Catalonian movement. They both want to be separated from Spain.
Yeah.
In different regions.
Yeah, and maybe in different ways. Let's say, just to make a broad explanation. Catalonia was more, I think, like an economical thing. I mean, they built like a lot of industry and so on. They wanted more money. They felt that building their own concept or monetary concept, they could build their independence. I think in the Basque Country is more an identitarian thing because I don't know if you know, but one of the farthest languages in Europe is Euskera. It's their own language that they have in the north. So from that languages, they started to build their own identity and so on, and they started overall in Frankism. They were like, okay, we're not part of Spain. We don't want to be part of Spain. There's a guy that is Franco. This is a dictatorship. We're super Democrats, and they started killing people. What happened? That democracy starts. There's peace in the streets, but they keep killing. And it's like, oh, you were saying that Franco was a terrible mass killer fascist, and we're in democracy when everyone votes, everyone is pacific, everyone doesn't do anything wrong, and you start killing people for more than 30 years. I mean, more than 30 years that they went to a supermarket, they planted a bomb, and 40 guys died. Normal people like them. Or overall, they also persecuted people that lived in the Basque Country. There are studies that say that 200,000 Spanish people that felt Spanish in the Basque Country had to leave the Basque Country because they were ideologically persecuted.
Right.
What's the problem? Who's going to win the elections if they kicked all the Spanish that feel Spanish and that are patriots? They're going to win. That's why they have a political party that openly doesn't condemn the violence from a terrorist organization that is winning the elections because they kicked everyone out.
Right. So you want to go to the Basque Country in a few days and watch the Spanish game. Do you think that there'll be trouble?
There will be trouble if we did it in an open publicly space. We're gonna go to a bar. Nobody knows in special terms that we're gonna watch the football match there. But if I posted a Twitter, 100%. If I posted a Twitter with my picture and the address of the bar, we would have problems. 100% for sure. There will be problems.
What kind of problems?
They're crazy people. I mean, last year, for example, I went to put a table with political information in a village of the Basque Country, and there were 200 Antifas, and we were 4 guys.
Really?
The police came to try to protect a line of defense, and they told us, hey, we have to flee. We cannot protect you anymore. There's some videos. We had the trial because there's a full community that justifies that you could be dead because you're a dangerous fascist. And I'm not talking about a nationalist like me. I'm talking even like social democrats that think that Spain is a good concept. Those people have problems also. I mean, they research, you go to a village where there's 300 voters, and they're like, oh, there's 2 votes for a patriotic party. Who are the voters? Where do they live? Is this guy? Who did a weird comment once?
Here's the footage he is talking about. This is Pablo being chased out of the Basque Country by a massive crowd of Antifa militants.
Fascista, eres un puto fascista.
You know, there's a fully political prosecution. In fact, the, let's say, patriotic party here in Spain is Vox, and they have 5% of the votes over there. When the rest of Spain is 20%. Why? Because most of them came to live to Madrid or to safer places.
So you think that these groups are linked with Antifa?
100%.
Really?
100%.
And so the Antifa in Spain and Antifa in France and Germany are very militant.
100%.
They're like terrorists.
Yeah, no, they're like fully terrorists. To give you an example, in Catalonia happens also. Okay, this is the thing that is very special in Spain. As Catalonian people didn't want people that spoke Spanish, they didn't import immigration from South America. They brought Muslims.
So from here, I was offered to go on a road trip with Pablo and his group to Narbonne in France. This was a gathering organised for a boy named Louis, a teenager, killed earlier this year. His family organised a march through the town, and people from across Europe, French patriots and visitors alike, came to pay their respects and remember him. I was curious to see what a pan-European gathering of patriots from surrounding nations would look like. So it's just ticked over midnight here, and there's about 8 of us that are going to be going to Narbonne. As you guys would have seen on Twitter, young teenager, French guy, Louis, was killed by a gang of youth migrants, and his mother actually came out. This is quite different to what has happened in the past, and she's organising a protest in Narbonne. So I think there's going to be nationalists from all around Europe there, people coming to show their support to Louis's family and to demand remigration. So it should be an interesting experience. I mean, night bus with a bunch of Spanish nationalists going to France to a big protest. I mean, anything could happen. So I guess let's see how it goes.
I got a present for you.
Oh, for me?
In that bag, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you remember that in Spain there were not only gays.
Gross. I got some serious footage today, I'll tell you what.
For sure.
Oh, man.
Like, you were impressed for you, yeah?
Oh, cool. Oh, this is good, so we can wear this at the protest tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean...
So we've got the shirts here for Louis. The protest is obviously supporting his family, so I'll wear that tomorrow. And this is, I also have got my España shirt.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, it has some Spanish. Look behind, like you can twist it over.
Okay.
It's true that you're not Spanish, but at least, I mean. Hijo puta, el Víctor Hidalgo me manda lo que ¿a qué quiere? No, me cojo la empanadilla.
El pueblo español está con Luis y tus familia.
That's it.
What does that mean?
The people of Spain is with Luis and his family.
That's nice. Halfway through the road trip, we stopped in Burgos, an old historic city that was once Spain's capital and the place where Pablo grew up. This is where, in October 1936, Franco was proclaimed Generalissimo and head of the state of Spain, the ceremony that effectively launched his rule. And centuries before that, it's where Christopher Columbus came to do business of his own. After his second voyage, he spent 8 months in Burgos, waiting on the Catholic monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, who received him at the Casa del Cordón. He walked out, having talked his way back into their favour, confirmed as Admiral, Viceroy and Governor of the Indies, with a promise to fund his third voyage. These days, Burgos is also something else, a stronghold for Antifa, which we will see. So welcome to Burgos.
Let's see what we find here,
Your
right?
hometown, eh? That's cool.
Yeah, it's noisy, right?
Yeah, it kind of feels nice to be in the cold again.
No, 100%.
After Madrid was so hot, man.
I think you're gonna like the city center. It's quite
Yeah.
like medieval, or it's like an old time. It's very nice.
Yeah.
That's fully Europe.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna play like a football match.
Yeah.
What a team.
Yeah. What's this team, Moses?
Oh, Korea.
Korea?
Korea. This is Korea.
Did your girlfriend give you that?
That's right.
That's your second favorite country now, Korea.
No, I think it's his favorite country.
He loves Korean girls, eh? You know what we call that in Australia, Moses? We call that having yellow fever. If you like Asian girls.
I never heard that one. Yeah, I never heard that one. He was like, defeated the communist army, now blah, 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 blah. His famous speech was there.
Franco made a famous speech there, eh?
Yeah.
Why here? Why in Burgos?
It was like the capital
Right.
of the national side and so on. So he went in that balcony, and it's where he claimed that finally the nationalist and Catholic movement beat the communists and the Reds.
Interesting.
Just there.
Right there. It's like a beautiful town centre.
No, it is. There's like a lot of cities like this, I would say, in Spain, like very beautiful in the city center. Like, as I said, we have a big castle in the top and so on. I'm going to go this way. This is, for example, as I said, it's Camino de Santiago and it goes through Burgos. So there's like a lot of places where pilgrims can stay to sleep. You can knock the door and you could stay to
Really?
sleep
So
for
this is
free.
like a Catholic pilgrimage?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
To the Tomb of Santiago. It's the 1 month walk. So you could call here and you could say, hey, I'm a pilgrimage, I'm Catholic, I want to go to visit the Tomb of Santiago, and you could stay here to sleep for free.
Wow, that's cool. And that's the El Camino Trail, no?
Yeah, El Camino Trail,
Right,
it's quite
right.
famous.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed about Spain so far, it's been interesting, is just how like divided it is. Like you were just saying before, that you've got all of the separatists up north, and then the Catalonians, and then these places are a little bit more rural and they don't have as much immigration problems, and then the capital Madrid is just so different to everywhere else. It's like different, completely different places wherever you go.
It's as we said before with the example of the Basque Country, it's crazy with how in 100 kilometers of difference, the voters are completely different, the debates are completely different, and people think like in a very different manner. So I guess it's very difficult because there's not united debates, I would say, you know. So Spain is like very diverse itself, even in politics. We were gonna go that way.
Yeah.
This is the town hall. They didn't put the flag. But there's like, look, this is a funny fact. That psycho is like, he's pro-Russian. And
Pro-Russian?
Yeah, pro-Russian.
Oh yeah, I can see the flags.
And by the law of flags in front of the town hall, he couldn't have those flags.
Really?
So the firemen go with a ladder, take off the flags, but he puts it one on and over.
Really?
You know? Yeah, because he's very pro-Russian. So he's always fight with the police and so on.
I see. He's got like the proper Russian.
Because this is a town mall. I mean, all the politics is here, like the town hall.
Yeah.
And there's the pro-Russian guy, like showing his and standing with his position.
That's
I mean,
a particular guy.
yeah, it's a particular guy. Yeah. And there's a guy on the roof sitting there.
You know, that got me for a moment. Actually, I thought that was a real guy for a moment. You know, I thought he was watching us.
Here is also the statues of the principal founders or fighters for Burgos.
Wow.
It's el Arco de Santa Maria.
So, La Pasera.
You know, this is the game with the words because pecera is like the place you your fish.
Pasera is the place that you keep your fists?
Yeah, your fish, where you put your fish.
Oh.
Fish.
And PCE is Party Communist Spanish.
So it's a game
like-
of words.
Yeah, game
So
of
this
words.
is like a communist headquarters?
Well,
like
yeah,
they work, they operate here?
You have there the symbol, the communist symbol.
Right.
And they have the security fence and so on, but they have it in the center where all the people party. I mean, it's like we're stuck in the city center. This is our place. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's a way of saying it. And then, they normally drink here and go also to the party place that is there, this street. So it's pretty much controlled by Antifa, actually.
Right. So we turn a corner there and it looks a fair bit different behind us. A lot of people out partying. It looks like there's maybe a fair few Latin Americans there.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I don't know. I don't see. You saw the posters like United Against Racism and so on. In Burgos, nobody is better than nobody.
Right.
It's everywhere.
It's pretty much, you can find this in lots of places around Spain.
Yeah. The problem that we have in Burgos that this is a very small town. And for example, if you're considered also patriot of nationalist, as you see, there's only 3 streets.
Yeah.
So maybe they're like, oh, do you know this guy that is a fascist? He's around. Then they're 5 minutes by car.
Yeah.
Then you
yeah.
can have easily 20, 30 Antifas ready also for a fight. Because it's a very small place, you know. And as you see, they're very active. I mean, you didn't see them in person, but you can feel that atmosphere of the posters, the headquarters in the city center. They're like, this is my city town, you know.
Yeah.
It's really what it is.
You really can, like communist headquarters, the fascist posters, and it's like, it feels like a communist place right there, just in those streets.
Imagine the opposite. Imagine that fascism really existed,
Yeah.
and you had the headquarters in the city town, and
Yeah.
all full of posters, like this is a fascist state, or this is a fascist city.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
would feel, I mean, if you were a progressist, you would say, hey, something is wrong here.
Yeah.
But people don't feel the same towards this. No?
It's a double standard.
it's a
Yeah,
double
big
standard.
time.
In this house, the kings, the Catholic kings, received Cristobal Columbus from his second trip from the Americas, the New World, as they say,
Right.
and they confirmed all his privilege. Like, it was the second trip. He came here and he said, hey, this is real. Look all I discovered. Can you finance my next trips? And they also confirmed him he was governor of the Americas.
Right.
It didn't end well. He ended in jail because of corruption. But here's where the second part of the story started. Here's the story and so on. Here's
And
the
so
building.
he went. This is the building that he went to try and secure the funding and the permission to go and conquer the Americas.
The Catholic kings were waiting for him here. They received him. He told them, "Hey, I discovered all this stuff. What can we do now? Which are my privilege? What I told you is true. Where's my part? Of the cake."
Yeah,
So,
that's some good negotiating. Yeah, Columbus. So, what would you say is out of all the experiences you've had with Antifa, what's been the worst?
when we were before in the city center, we saw the communist headquarters. I was having a party when I was 19, and I left the bar and I had like 10 guys in the door just waiting for me, and with bottles and so on, their hands over their back and so on.
Why is that? Because they knew that you were a
Yeah,
nationalist.
they knew I was a nationalist. Even I was not maybe that much radical as I would now, because times make us radical, what is happening and so on. But they were like, oh, this guy likes Spain, he wears the Spanish flag. For them also, that is just that you're a Nazi or a fascist, just by carrying the flag. So they were just waiting, and I got luck that night. My friend that was with me didn't have that much luck, but in that moment I said, it didn't end bad for me, but I saw that I couldn't have like a normal life or party normally, and that's why I decided to get really involved in politics. Like, if we're gonna play in serious, we're gonna do serious stuff,
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have for me much sense to play politics or play radical or do some stuff if you really are not searching or aiming for an objective,
Yeah, yeah.
If it's gonna cost you a penalty, at least conquer something for your people, I guess.
Yeah. So Moises has a bit of a talent for disappearing.
Moises!
And we were just walking along, and then it's past 3 o'clock in the morning here, and in Burgos, and we just lost Moises. And we turn around and he's gone.
Yeah, he has to appear because we have to go to France. We still have 8 hours in the car left to go to France. Oh, we hope he appears.
So we're going to send him the location of the van. We just hope for the best, really.
Yeah. And if not, if we leave here, at least that he finds a nice girlfriend.
Yeah, I hope so. But he'd be cheating on his South Korean girl. I've got a theory that I think when Moises disappears, he's sending TikToks to his girlfriend, Snapchats to his girlfriend.
Well, I have a question. I don't really know if that girl exists or not. I mean, it's pretty weird that they're boyfriends and she never been in Spain,
Yes, yeah, well, AI is powerful these days. Oh, well, hopefully we find Moises. I miss Moises already. It's not the same. We've found Moises. He does look like he's been kidnapped. I don't think he's clocked us.
No.
I don't think he's noticed us.
No, he doesn't care a shit. Look, Moisés! ¡Moisés! ¿Pero qué? ¿Dónde te has metido? Did you see? He said, I turned back and you weren't there.
Where did you go? We were worried about you, bro.
I was taking a photo to see Campeador.
Okay, nice. We were worried. Is this our van?
Yeah.
Dans les bars à la tombée du jour, avec sa main bonne et quand on parle de filles et d'amour, un verre à la main. Je suis dans la maison des choses de maman, c'est pas la même
Welcome to Narbonne, France. We made it. After a long journey through the night, we're here. Can't really see too much in terms of people attending the march or the protest at the moment. So we're going to just wander into the city and just see what's around pretty much. It's actually my first time in France, ever spending any time here, so it should be interesting nevertheless. But let's check it out. Let's see what's happening. And this is where the protest is.
What are you guys here for today?
We are here to say to our government that's enough. We want some political measure because we want to live safe in our country. We want to live safe in Europe, and this is time for all the authority to hear our message.
And the message is, political action against immigration, against this thing?
Yes, against immigration, for stopping immigration, stopping assimilation, just send them back and give security for all the Europeans.
So you can hear the church bells in the background there. The really interesting part so far for me is that it's pretty much entirely driven by young people, this whole thing. There's the family. So I think that there's people coming up now, potentially the family of Lewis, going to come and speak to the audience. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to understand what they're saying, but I'm sure it'll be powerful nevertheless. Got a lot of people here if you just look around who have gathered in this one small place. Here with Tice. You might recognize her from a recent trial that she went through. Tice, what are you doing here today?
Yeah, I'm here to commemorate with all of these French and European people who are very shocked by what happened to Louis XVII, who was beaten to death by four thugs of immigrant descent, he was ambushed. He was completely free, not like a fight, as the media said. And we hear stories like that more and more often. And European people are just fed up of the immigration consequences and the impunity of.
And you've paid a big price personally recently.
Yes. The justice system is very quick to pursue people like me who know a lot about the immigration dangers. And recently, I was on trial and sued for stating on TV that mass migration is responsible of the number one danger of the security issues for women in France. And for just saying that, the prosecutor has sought against me a 4-month unsuspended prison sentence, which is crazy because, I just said something on TV and, they wanted to put me in actual jail for it. And I was assaulted myself by a Tunisian migrant in my own house like 4 years ago. And my assaulter, he's still free out there. Maybe he assaulted other women after me, but he's still free. And I'm the one who's being sued, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for talking to us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot of people have come from all around France today, which is actually very heartening to see. A lot of people defending the French identity and defending the European identity. It's one of the things that's most interesting and actually cool about these protests is that I'll always see people from France, from Spain, from Italy, from pretty much everywhere, all getting together to defend some sort of a pan-European identity, if you will. And considering the history of the 20th century, the world wars and all of the different fighting that's gone on and all of the different historical dramas and beefs between the European countries, to see all of these nationalist movements sort of linking arms and sort of defending the future of Europe together is it's very encouraging for sure. And I think that actually what we're seeing in this time is the seedbed of a renaissance in culture, or at least I'd like to hope so. Perhaps I'm too optimistic, but I would like to think that that's the case.
We were speculating before we came about the sorts of numbers that would get here today. And we were saying maybe it'll just be a few hundred or something. A lot more than that. Français, tu es ici,
Yellow flag is like the symbol of this city, I think.
So just to give you guys an idea of what it sort of looks like around here, there's actually a heap of people. It's awesome to see. Look at this. So, what do you think so far?
Very powerful indeed. Like, it's quite emotional to see all these European people fighting for what belongs to us. Right.
Yeah. So the march is actually currently on the way to the location where young Lewis was killed. So, really nice sight in front of me, like the old people holding hands. The messaging is pretty clear, as you guys can see. Might not be able to read it, but the French sign says, "Death penalty for the killers of my people." So back to where we started now, in the square. You guys will see it's been a very successful protest, still happening. We're going to probably head off now. I'm going to get a night bus, I think, from San Sebastian back to Madrid. So justice for Luis. Hopefully see more of this around Europe. Europeans standing up for who they are. Really encouraging to see. Standing in Narbonne, watching people who'd never met Luis or his family show up anyway, it was hard not to see a through line that had followed me the whole trip. This wasn't really about one boy who tragically lost his life, or a clubhouse in Madrid, or one region of Spain. It was the same thing over and over in different countries and different accents. People who feel like the economic story that they were handed no longer explains who they are, and people who are absolutely sick of seeing their homes being forever changed by mass migration. And what they're doing is reaching for tradition, a shared identity, and a shared struggle that is both national and continental. Now, I said at the start of this that what I was expecting was potentially the online version of this story. What I actually found was something with a lot more depth to it. For the most part, a pretty coherent worldview, an actual political organizer willing to get run out of a region for his views, and a French town grieving a citizen in a way that pulled together an entire continent. Now, whether you think that this is a healthy instinct or a dangerous one probably depends where you're standing. But what we can say is that this is no longer a fringe reaction, and it's not going away. The societal conditions of the modern world have created deracinated men devoid of opportunity and purpose. These people are rejecting the modern GDP-first version of nationalism and conservatism, and instead are asking deeper questions. And in doing so, stoking the embers of a civilization trying to remind it who it is.
One person isn't a protest. Filming is not a First Amendment right. You're going to be getting your citations in the mail, or I'll come over there and arrest you.
That's it.
What's that?
Okay.
You want to know all about us, but we know all about you. I just want you to realize that we're good people, but we don't think you're a good person. Why should we like you? I think you need to be institutionalized. You would never call me names if I was out of this uniform. You know why? Because bad things would happen to you.
Welcome back to the Lackluster Channel. On March 26 of 2024, Mr. Cyclist rode his bike to the Allentown Police Department in Pennsylvania to protest and record from the public sidewalk. It was not his first time protesting at this location, but on this day, seconds after starting his recording, Officer Dean Flight exited the parking garage in a reckless manner, driving on the sidewalk while using the emergency horn. Warning: the following 60 seconds are very loud.
You dumb piece of shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the f? It's a public sidewalk, you dumb shit. Look at that nice bill you got. What's wrong with you? You see this guy? What's he doing? What is he doing? He's crazy.
Section 4571 covers visual and audible signals on emergency vehicles. Sub E states that the audible warning system may be used only during an emergency, in the interest of public safety, or by law enforcement when enforcing the law. The fine for a summary offense relating to the unauthorized use of the device is between $500 and $1,000. Mr. Cyclist would then bike around the building to read the numbers on the rear of the vehicle.
Learn to drive yet? Stay the hell away from me. Stay the hell away from me.
Check out the DA crime code about loitering. I got you around here again. I'm arresting you for loitering.
You don't know the law, dipshit. You just tried to hit me with your car and hit your own damn building.
And just as he was leaving, an officer exited the building to speak with him.
Are you gonna attack me, or can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? He just tried to hit me with his car. He hit the damn building trying to hit me on the sidewalk.
Well, you were blocking the gate.
I was to the side of the gate.
Everyone that just came in here said you've been blocking.
It's on video. No.
Why?
Subpoena it.
Well, if you want me to do something about it,
What are you gonna do? Nothing. Captain Gross won't do anything. What are you gonna do? What are you?
Sergeant Chris Stevenson now approaches.
Look at his car. He hit the building trying to hit me.
Because you're blocked, yes, because you're blocking it. So you can't do that because that's interference.
Where?
You
Where?
can't do that.
I was on the other side. I was by the grates. That's not blocking anything.
So here's the deal. You want a video? Go over there. Stay off this side of the sidewalk.
I don't have to. Traditional public
forum.
forum.
I'll fucking take you in for arrest. Got it?
What's your name?
Sergeant Stevenson.
Badge number. It's covered.
No, it's right there.
It's covered. Your wire is covering it.
That's not my problem.
Okay, fucking dumbass. Traditional public forum. I can stand wherever I want.
You cannot stand there for our ingress and egress out of the garage. To intentionally block us.
I was standing on the corner next to the wall and by the grates, not in front of the fucking gate, you dumbasses. Are you blind? It's all on camera. I took video of where my feet was.
Great, you gonna come show it to me?
No, because you're gonna fucking attack me.
No, then you have no complaint.
I don't need to give you a complaint. I can just sue you.
Okay, courthouse is 5 blocks out.
Good one.
We're doing this to harass us.
Traditional public forum, First Amendment right to protest. I have the right to be here and voice my grievances.
That's wrong.
What's wrong? What's wrong about it? Traditional public... What?
What are you voicing?
My disapproval with your... everything you guys are doing.
Great. There are more constructive ways to do that than actually try to irritate us.
Constitution. I didn't block anything. I was standing on the corner. There was no gate in front of me, just wall. I was standing on the other side. There was no garage door in front of me.
And I'm asking you to vacate the area.
You can't. It's a traditional public forum. I have the right to protest here.
All you have to do is not block your eyes.
I'm not. Can I walk over there by the pole?
Walk over there.
No, I can be on that side of the sidewalk too.
You can see the door as much as you want.
It's a traditional public forum. I can be there. I won't be anywhere near the gate after he tried to hit me with his car. I won't go anywhere near it. But I can be on that side of the sidewalk. What?
That's probably because you were in the way.
You are insane.
I'm not insane.
He hit the
You don't want to share it. Who's the crazy one?
Because you're thugs that attacked me. Captain Gross attacked me, and now this guy's running me off the sidewalk. Why do you think he's on the sidewalk? Because I was there. Because I was over there. What is wrong with you people? Are you going to arrest me if I walk past?
Yep.
On public forum.
I told you not to go there. So yeah, I'll arrest you.
Traditional public forum.
Don't care. I told you, you're not walking there, and I'll arrest you.
All right. You guys all agree with this? All right. I see how you guys are. So, is everyone else walking down this road?
We already told what's going on at the end of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. You can't stop me recording.
Didn't say anything about it. Listen, stop trying to go shit going on. Don't conversation.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I wasn't doing shit that is illegal. Everything I'm doing is constitutionally protected. Pull up the camera. Show me blocking the gate. I was right there on the corner blocking nothing. And I was well past the gate on the other side. These thugs. You gotta stand here all day wasting tax dollars?
I told you multiple times to move along.
I don't have to. Traditional public forum. This is where you're supposed to protest. Traditional public forum. Do you even know what that means?
One person protest ain't a protest.
Unfortunately, this isn't the dumbest thing Stevenson will say in this video. In legal terms, a protest typically refers to an organized public demonstration and often involves multiple participants. However, a single person's right to protest is also protected under freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. And although these rights are often applied to large groups of people, they also extend to the individual.
Jesse Cohen is showing us tonight a one-man protest can make a huge impact in a single community.
A man in Maquoketa to protest to have the investigation into a man's death reopened.
Reinvestigate the police killing of Drew Edwards.
$1,000 to do a debate.
I have a counteroffer. He says $300K. Let's make it $500K. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first.
I would just say yes to everything. I would just say, okay, sure, yeah, yes to everything. And if TPUSA wants to claim me as one of them, okay, great. Because she's not going to do it anyway. Andrew Wilson, and it's Andy and Candy.
Ah.
So he was back on Joe Rogan, and I highly recommend you go check out the whole episode. They had a lot of fun together. They covered a wide range of topics, to be clear. This is 3 Wilson appearances really in like the last quarter. There was Andrew Wilson, then Rachel Wilson, and then Andrew again. So and I say this because everyone kind of sees this one portion because there's a show and then there are clips. They covered AI. They talked about philosophy, religion. They talked about online discourse. And then, of course, what everyone picks up on, and I get it, is the Andy and Candy potential debate, which I think everyone or most people would like to see.
Right. But have you noticed, like, the flat earthers have fleets of people who will debate their stances? Like, fleets of them who are like, we can't wait to debate with you on the flat earth. It's like, on the other side, though, in this particular conspiracy, you can't get these people to debate their positions.
Like, who won't debate their positions?
We offered Candice Owens, I offered her $300,000 to do a debate. I was like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to murder Charlie.
Based on what?
Well, that's the $1 million question.
Nothing!
Okay? So, and just to be clear, and I don't do this for all these, it ends up being, in my opinion, kind of spectacle. And I think Andrew understands that.
Yeah.
I was offered to debate Candice Owens. It was $30,000 a piece from some third-party debate con or something. I said, sure. And then they said, well, Candice said no. I said, well, she can have mine. I'll do it for free. And then we offered to do it on the show. When she called me out, implied that I was a Fed. No response yet. I'm not going to do it back and forth with a bunch of different terms. And you fly here. And we just like, look, we know how to do this. We're all adults. We used to do this all the time. We don't need to change all the rules. Candice, however, decided to respond to Andrew's challenge and seemed to put in some ultra specifics.
For everyone who was like me and legitimately did not know who this man was 5 minutes ago, Andrew Wilson apparently had a presence in the manosphere debating feminists.
Oh,
So I
pause.
said,
You didn't know manosphere, apparently? Didn't you write a book called Make Him a Sandwich? And didn't you describe that book as Why Real Women Don't Need Fake Feminism? Did you just do no research? Because here's the thing. You could say, I work in, I don't know, I'm a nautical engineer, whatever it is. I work in aerospace technologies. I've never heard of Andrew Wilson. But if you write a book on feminism and supporting traditional relationships, how in your research did you not come across the single biggest anti-feminist podcast that has ever existed in the Whatever podcast, where Andrew regularly appears? I don't know. Apparently he does stuff with feminine in the manosphere, which I've never heard of. Buy my book, Make Him a Sandwich, Why Real Women Don't Need Fake Feminism. So right away, I think it's disingenuous, but that's just me, Mr. Silly. Let's continue.
I have a counteroffer. He says 300K. Let's make it 500K, right? I just have the hunch, this feeling, gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just... you don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. Also,
Pause. I don't think you have the money, so let me raise it to make it less likely that you can get the money together for the debate. I really want to do it. Keep playing.
second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant, so if you fancy a debate face-to-face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debates. Don't worry. It will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want, like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks. As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy, okay? So you're just going to have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home. This is actually,
All right, pause.
I would say...
So this sounds a lot like feminism. It's like, come on, tough guy. First off, if you maybe because she said she wasn't familiar, even though she wrote a book on feminism, Andrew Wilson doesn't chain smoke indoors. He leaves to smoke cigarettes. He smokes when he's on his own streams, doing this by what do we call it, remote, to be clear. So you're not going to do that with me, tough guy. Okay, it's just, also this should be noted, this would be the first time Candice has ever done this, to be clear. A live debate without a net. It's not how she conducted it with Nick Fuentes, had it, held it back, sandbagged him. It's not like how I did it with Nick Fuentes or Dave Smith or insert many, many dozens of liberals over the last decade and a half here. This would be the very first time she's done this, what she is proposing. Let's see if there are any other caveats.
The most important part for me, this is what has to happen, third part here. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case. Okay? No worming away after the fact. They don't get to be, we don't really know this guy, whatever.
Okay, so here's the question. All right, because people are saying, she'd wreck you or you'd wreck her. And I have some criticisms of Andrew Wilson, too, who, by the way, is a friend, but I know that he'll appreciate me being fair. Here's the question we need to ask. 2, do we want to see this conversation take place? I genuinely do. You guys can comment. Yeah. I would like to see. That's why I said yes when they asked me to debate Candice Owens or have a conversation, or she can come on my show, I'll go on her show. I don't care. But I'm not going to do this whole back and forth thing. I understand it's an event. I want to see both sides present their strongest cases. We have maintained, of course, especially early on, that maybe Tyler Robinson didn't act alone. I believe Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. I believe he's the gunman. We don't have all the details. There could have been other people involved, including just to the degree of encouraging him. or potentially supplying him with tools that could have been useful. There's more information that needs to come out. Well, I don't know everything. I'd like to hear both sides present their strongest case. So 1, do you want to see the debate? Okay. Then 2, why do you think it's not happening? Who do you think actually wants to have this conversation most? I'm going to make an inference. I don't think you have the money, so let me raise the fee. And that seems to me like she doesn't really want to do it. I said I'd do it for free. Andrew said he'd do it. And by the way, the way he would raise the money, to be clear, he was going to put up $200,000 himself, and I think Brian from whatever, the other $100,000, so it wasn't coming from TPUSA. Then the other requirement, hey, I've accused you of being a TPUSA operative, and I've said in the past that I won't engage with TPUSA operatives because they don't engage in good faith. So admit that you're a TPUSA operative.
You see that?
He doesn't have control over that. It seems to me like she's looking for any reason not to debate. It would be like a heavyweight saying, like, sure, yeah, I'll fight you. I'll fight you for the title. Of course, I've fought a heavyweight my whole career, and so have you. All right, I got it. Also, you have to make welterweight, or I won't do it.
Yeah.
What? You want me to drop 60 pounds? Well, I guess you just don't want to do it. Like, hold on a second. There does have to be some reasonable approach here that would be within the bounds of reason. And to be clear, Andrew Wilson agreed to the general terms for the debate.
Yeah, since all this.
Where he said they could do it on neutral ground. I think he suggested, he said, like, even Michael Knowles could be a moderator because Candice is friends with him, and Andrew has had disagreements with him, but he thinks that he's fair. He said it could be a 3-hour-long debate. The pregnancy accommodation's okay. He'd fly out to her. He did say, of course, he would represent himself alone. He's not going to smoke. He can't have TPUSA declare him as a representative because he's not. That would be a lie. I know that he did one piece of contract work for them, and he was very open about it. So if he doesn't do that, she won't have the debate, and if he does it, he's effectively lying.
Yeah. I even make it easier. We'll just do it remote.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem here? And by the way, I wouldn't ask you to go out to Tyler Robinson and get him to go, yeah, Candice is representing me. He's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think he also said, now we'll crowdfund like $1 million so we can each get $500,000. And here's the one thing. My one criticism for Andrew Wilson is if I were talking to him, if I was him, I would just say yes to everything. I would just say, okay, sure, yeah, yes to everything. And if TPUSA wants to claim me as one of them, okay, great. Because she's not going to do it anyway. She's not going to show up. She's not going to do it. How am I making that inference? Because she never has. It would be the first time. So I understand the response from Andrew. My approach would have just been, okay, sure, cool, all of it. She's going to find a reason to not do it.
Yeah.
So with someone like her who grifts and lies and changes her story and refuses to engage in good faith conversation, is there an endpoint to any of this that you can see? Or does it just keep going in perpetuity?
Well, the end point is going to be self-induced. That's what's going to happen. She'll either self-destruct or she'll pull like an Oprah and reinvent herself and start a book club at another network, and she could be very effective with that. I don't know, but as far as being seen as a legitimate voice or a credible voice on any issue of politics as she used to be, I mean it's going to be death by 1,000 cuts, and it's going to be cuts from herself. Also, I should note, if they don't come to terms and Candice won't debate with him because he is, in fact, a TPUSA operative, he may send his dog in his stead. I'd pay $500,000 to see that. I'd pay $500,000 to see that.
Oh, man. It's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, it's a dog, Gerald. Of course it's not going to happen.
Dogs don't debate.
Yeah.
Silly.
That's fair. I should have thought of that. Yeah. No, I don't think the debate's going to happen. It really does need to at this point. And Andrew's right. The flat earthers, man, like they will come out in droves to debate their ideas.
Sure.
And there's not many of them on the planet.
They'll show up with laser pointers and a science kit, and they'll be like,
just prove their own. Yeah, exactly. They'll just prove their own theory. Be like, no, man. So I agree with you. I think at some point she self-destructs in this, but she's built up a true crime following. That's what she's built up right now. It's people that want like the daily soap opera. They don't want actual hard evidence. They want something that they can look at and go, that seems real to me. And eventually she'll have to move on to something else. But even if Tyler Robinson, like either way the trial goes, he was framed for this. He's actually innocent, or He's not guilty. I told you the entire time. See, I'm going to have him on my show. And now we have to get to the real killers of Charlie Kirk. And the grift keeps grifting.
Well, let me be as charitable as possible. And that's how I would approach this.
Good,
Look,
because I'm not.
Maybe her audience isn't true crime. Maybe Candice has done a very effective job at providing hard evidence, and where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Great. Hash it out.
There you go.
Now, I approached the debate when they offered it to me with her, and she doesn't get to say, I don't know who he is, because she was the one who drew first blood, not me, and she's gone after me multiple times, and my only words, I had 2 words, I accept. I'd go in and go, okay, great, good, please present the strongest case. Maybe her audience has seen some evidence that we haven't seen in scouring through all the videos. Let's assume that. Present it. And I would present mine. Andrew would present his, if you're going to do the debate with him. This is how it used to be. And that's how it still is on this show. I mean, Dave Smith on, right? I was like, okay, great. I'm just thinking of the most recent ones. The same thing we're going to be doing, I don't know if we can discuss Ivy League, the Change My Mind Professor editions. We'll do that. The reason that we didn't do it with Professor Zimmerman, who was on the show, was because the school said, actually, you can't stream it live, and we're going to change the rules. Now, that would be a problem because it would be inconsistent with the way we've always done it here. In other words, if I say we'll do it live, we will be fair, you can have the floor, that's how we've always done it. It would be an outlier for us to do it any other way. In this case, it would be an outlier for Candice. It would be the first time she's ever done anything like this, and it would be incumbent upon her to make it happen. So I ask you, do you want to see this debate, or do you want to see the debate, hey, if not Andrew, if he's not a worthy adversary, who? Who would you like to see a conversation and or debate between Candice Owens and any opposing voice that you deem to be most qualified? Pick one. Would you like to see that conversation? Okay. Who is the roadblock to that happening? That is very telling, in my opinion. And that's very different from the way that we approach. It's also why, I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to. We used to chase people around, right? And I'm just like, nope, either they come on or they don't. I'll go on their thing or we don't, whatever.
Which is for why all the flack that he gets. I mean, Tucker's not coming on. Candice isn't coming on. No one's coming on that you have major disagreements with. You had him with Nick, and for all his faults, he will hash out his discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there is credit due to him.
Ben won't come on either.
Yeah, he won't. Exactly.
And by the way, I've had him on many, many times. That's pretty telling to me because, okay, I've had him on many times, and now it's going to be a pretty firm disagreement.
Yeah.
On quite a few things here. Nope. All right. What do you do? How do we move forward? This is I think the big question right now when you're talking about the Marxist right, the fracturing, MAGA, America first. And all right, how does Tucker propose we move forward? What are the specifics? How do we move forward when people like Candice who are saying you're being lied to, you're being betrayed, won't actually stand up and make the case? I think that you as a viewer, you need to use your discernment. And at a certain point, right, you do have to discard what is not useful. If people are not transparent with their references, with their sources, if they're not transparent with their information, if they do not support evidence to substantiate their claims, and if they don't show up ever, I'm not saying you have to debate every Tom, Dick, and Harry with an anonymous X profile from Qatar or wherever it is. I'm not saying that. But if they never show up, nothing up their sleeves to make their case, at what point you just discard it and go, oh, well, okay, I guess that's of no use to me. It's of no value. That's where I am with it. I'm not going to spin my wheels or exhaust myself. YouTube's
is something you're not allowed to say according to the guidelines. I was quoting the guidelines. I'm glad you're still here. It means you watched this video all the way through. Oh. It says here that Rumble, where you can go follow my channel, lets you say pretty much anything, provided it's not illegal. That reminds me of, what does it remind me of? Oh, yeah. YouTube, pre-2015. Go on and follow me there. I'm live, 11 a.m. Eastern, weekdays. Don't call YouTube a oh, it's just a different way of saying it's
On June 2nd, 2025, officers in Washington received a call from a woman pulled up at a McDonald's drive-thru, reporting that employees were refusing to hand over the food she...
All right. Y'all have fun. See y'all next. I'll I'll be back later. We're gonna watch some PUBG stuff. Y'all be good. Later, guys.